Second qualifying final at the Adelaide Oval is Port Adelaide and Geelong, with the rights to host a preliminary final and take the week off. The loser will be condemned to a semi-final, and it'll be a tricky semi-final at that. They'll play the winner of the stacked Bulldogs-Hawks encounter in week 2 of the finals. AFL Nation is for 4 and 20 pies and tyre power. Big footy final sale. Jared Waitley and Dwayne Russell to cord for you. Kane Corns is in place as our expert. The subs have been declared: Quinton Narkle for Port Adelaide, Zach Tui for Geelong, and the late change was Tom Stewart is out of the Cats side and Ocean Mullen comes in. AFL Nation brought to you by the TAC. Wear a seatbelt, not the consequences. The warm-ups are underway, Kane. Farine manufacturing in Australia for more than 80 years. Before we pick through some bits and pieces, just give us your overall thesis as how it shapes up.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's such an intriguing game because of just the weapons that Port Adelaide have through the midfield, and we've spoken a lot throughout the year that Geelong just don't have that. So if you're shaping up of where the game is, often in finals it starts in the midfield. Now, everywhere else you think Geelong can compete pretty well. I think that Chris Scott will have something up his sleeve, what he does with Blickstaves, what he does with Stanley, and how those two intertwine perhaps in the ruck, with Stanley pushing hard forward and Blickstaves taking the ruck. What he does with Jeremy Cameron, the high half forwards, how much time they come up to stoppage, can they crowd the area and make it not as dynamic when Port Adelaide do win stoppage and force them to quick kick. But then you look at Port Adelaide and the way that they've turned around their defensive profile this year in the last 9 weeks. Number 2 for pressure, clearly high for scoring from stoppage, and in particular centre bounce, but they've just been hard to score against. They've been a side that has not leaked scores. So if they bring that pressure that they've brought, and if they are defensively sound like they have been in the lead up to this game at home, then you think on this ground that they will get the better of Geelong. But we know that there is the question mark over the coach, Ken Hinkley. We know it's 12 seasons. We know there's 3 prelims. We know none of those have been winning prelims. We know last year was straight sets. What impact that has on this group, time will tell.
What have you got as the key matchups for Seek? Better job matches with Seek, simply Seek and you shall find.
Well, I look at Jeremy Cameron. He kicked 9. He'd had 7 goals from 7 kicks. Yes, against the West Coast Eagles, and yes, against Ruben Jinby. So it's a high-quality opponent tonight with a lot more pressure on the football. But I think it goes to Zerk Thatcher, been in pretty good form, and that does allow Aliir to take Neil, and Alir's been as good as any key defender, intercepting defender as there is in football in the last 8 weeks. So those two behind the ball for Port Adelaide, fascinating for me. Throughout the midfield, I don't think there'll be many one-on-one genuine run-withs. Willem Drew will probably stand alongside Dangerfield, but he'll still win his own footy. Willem Drew and Ocean Mullen perhaps is up Chris Scott's sleeve, but I don't think he'll start with a direct tag on either Butters or Horne-Francis.
Seek and you shall find. Refreshingly BWS stats brought to you by BWS. They've got your drinks for game day sorted. That's refreshingly BWS. Patrick Dangerfield, age 34. Connor Rozee, age 24. It's the largest age gap between 2 finals captains since 2001, when Craig Bradley, a 37-year-old skipper, faced off against Mark Rasciuto at 26 years of age. The umpires are over on the members' wing. The players are about to join them. The ball has been delivered. Stay on the ball with delivery. They're going to gather for the formalities.
4 umpires tonight: Brett Roseberry, Hayden Gavine, Simon Meredith and Brent Wallace. You get the best decision makers when it comes to the biggest stage. So we'll see how they handle the occasion as well. There'll be 48, 49, 50,000 in the house tonight. Great to have Thursday night footy in Adelaide. Well supported, and hopefully we get a cracking game of footy. I'm sure we will.
So they form up. They've played each other in recent times in qualifying finals. So this exact fixture on this ground, Port Adelaide prevailing on both occasions. The Cats have never won a final here in Adelaide.
Welcome you to the 2024 AFL Toyota Final Series, and tonight it's the qualifying final between Port Adelaide and the Geelong Cats. The AFL acknowledges the Kaurna people, the traditional owners of the land, and we gather on today to pay our respects to elders past and present. We acknowledge we play our great game on this land and respect the cultures of all First Peoples, their contribution to our nation and the contribution to the great game of Australian rules football. To conduct an official welcome to country, please welcome senior Kaurna man and Port Adelaide past player Mickey O'Brien.
Nei chaya. Na bari nig puna. Tuwela manibudnik. Tuwela wakadapatnik. Nai gana biako makalankala marwachanga ganamina wangadi mani budni gani yatana irdi yata tenendanga tanda wama tidna bandu yadaboti irabina mapu. Hello to you, my friends, and welcome to Ghana country, or as we would say, Red Kangaroo country here in Adelaide Oval. We bring great blessings to you, the fans, to the umpires, to the players, as we watch this great game of football being battled here tonight on this wonderful oval between Port and Geelong. We say to you, Nachu Yukandaya, Nachu Yakandaya, Patnia do wadu. May we walk together in harmony. May they understand that cultures can bring us together. We never say goodbye. We always say see you later. And so welcome to this land. Nakara, Nachaya. Thank you for coming. Good night.
Thank you, Uncle Mickey. Now, if you are able, can you please stand, remove your hats, join the coaches, players and the umpires for the Australian National Anthem to be performed by Chloe Bremner.
Gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
It's a splendid sight. It's an awesome sound around Adelaide Oval and the build-up to the start of this final series. The weather tonight for Mole Map detects melanoma early. Mole Map, it's a game changer. It's 22 degrees, so it's a pretty steamy night. We've had a decent shower in the lead-up to it. There's no more rain forecast, but I'm not sure that was on the forecast either. So a bit tropical here in Adelaide. Kane, have you got a player to fall in love with tonight?
Well, I'm in love with Horn Francis, you know that. So let's see how he goes in his second final series. You feel like he's a player that he's built for these moments with the attributes that he's got. Maybe they start him at half forward, get him up to the stoppage, see if Geelong are willing to drop off him to give him some freedom at stoppage. So we'll keep a close eye on that early days.
The Barbecues Galore Epic Father's Day deals extended. Head online and in-store now at barbecuesgalore.com.au. The toss of the coin for Keno Go. A hot date is worth the wait with Keno Go. Download the app and start playing today for your chance at the $40 million jackpot every 3 minutes. Connor Rosie has won the toss, and Port will kick to the Riverbank stand end. To the right as we look at it in this opening term, Brad Close in game number 100 attended the toss for the Cats. Download the Keno Go app today. Is any number to choose from for the unmissable moments for Drinkwise? Choose to Drinkwise.
Well, yeah, I mean, I love Geelong's forward line and the mix that they've got. So Brian Myers and the damage that he can do. We know about Close. I suspect Stengel looms large as well. Lockie Jones will be the matchup for him, so they would favour that. Can Geelong's mids give their forward line enough supply? Will be where this game is won or not, and what sort of entries do they get? Are they pressured? Are they under serious pressure, or are they unpressured? Which means that Geelong have all the tools to kick a big score here tonight.
So the final throws of the build-up never tear us apart for Port Adelaide, who have lived quite the journey throughout this season to deliver them back to this opportunity to try to book a home preliminary final and then take it further from there. big build-up. The opening siren as we take our first step into the 2024 final series. It's Port Adelaide and Geelong. You're with Dwayne Russell on AFL Nation.
Great to have your company on AFL Nation, and Port get the clearance. A handball butters to Drew. He fumbled it, had to kick it off the deck. It's wide. So Rosie started forward. He hasn't started at half-back. Radicalia started forward, and so has Charlie Dixon for Port Adelaide, obviously.
Big job for Aaliyah. He's gone to Jeremy Cameron. I thought that may have been Zirk Thatcher. Burn Jones, the All-Australian half-back's been so good as a forward for them in the last 2 years. He's replaced Kane Farrell as the half-back for Port Adelaide.
And he's with Dempsey side by side, so the two rucks go out at half-forward for Port Adelaide. Atkins got a little kick away. Trickler, Myers goes and gets it on the wing. Floats it over the top to Neal, who gets there at half-forward. Too far out to score. He's got Ollie Henry running for him inside 50. He ignores that option. He pulls the kick short to Dempsey, a little too short, and Bert Jones, with a big round of applause, takes the cut-off mark at half-back in front of a full house here of Port fans at the Adelaide Oval.
It's his old stock in trade. So Burn Jones out of half-back, goes long down the wing to a big contest, and Neal across the fronts with a telling mark for the Cats. Neal found a little bit of space, drives it long in the Cameron direction, two again. Zirk Thatcher dropped the mark. Aaliyah got caught with the footy, got it to his boot. It floats into the arms of Holmes.
A couple of nervous moments. Willem Drew out of the first centre bounce, fumbled the ball, the easy handball from Zach Butters. Port Adelaide were away, and then Zirk Thatcher should have been Port Adelaide's second intercept mark behind the ball, just dropped an easy one. That's finals football. That is players just with the nerves early on, mistakes that wouldn't be made in the home and away season, which leads to this opportunity from probably 53 on a pretty tough angle for Max Holmes. Just be right on his limit.
He's played every game this season, 13 goals for when he's hit the scoreboard. Max Holmes from outside 50, it's way to the right. It'll sneak in from behind the first score on the Host Plus scoreboard.
They're pretty dangerous from their kick-ins, Port Adelaide, so we'll see how aggressive Ryan Burton wants to be, but he's one that is prepared to go really aggressive up the middle. Geelong will be onto this. They would have scouted this from Port Adelaide.
So he does chip it wide. Burn Jones, they've got another option to go to now that Burn Jones has started at half-back, and that is go to Burn Jones, and he rolls it along the ground to Burton. They get out of trouble. Handball to William, no, they don't get out of trouble. They've been fumbly early.
A few nerves early, Dwayne. Three mistakes early.
Zirk Thatcher, he had a chance to take a mark and get a smack to the back of the head. I reckon you're almost better off getting a smack to the back of the head in that situation than dropping the mark. Just take the hit.
Right half forward for the Cats. Stanley, clean tap underneath. Ball fed out by Manor. Dangerfield puts it wider. Atkins into the arms of Holmes, who pops it inside 50. It clears the pack. The runner's on at the back. Stengel has the footy. Got out of a tight spot and socked the goal. Inventive stuff from Tyson Stengel. And the Cats have the first. It's 1-1-7 to nothing after 3 minutes on the Host Plus scoreboard.
Yeah, it's exactly what we thought they would do. Their high half forwards coming up to stoppage, so that from a stoppage goal being influential was Dangerfield inside, but then it got to the outside and Holmes was on the end of it. He started well. Ball on the ground inside forward 50, as we spoke about pre-game, is danger for Port Adelaide, and that man Stengel was terrific last time these two sides met as Geelong stormed home with 4 goals. Lockie Jones is going to have to be switched on and more aggressive, but right now the entry's 2-0. Port Adelaide really haven't got the ball in any threatening way in front of centre yet, and they've made 3 critical errors and started really nervously to start this game.
Cats have started hot. So Sweet, Stanley go at it, ball not down to Dangerfield, he won't be nervous, and he's clean-handed, got it to Atkins, kicks around his body towards Ollie Henry at half forward, used his body well, a little knockdown back in his direction by one of the great stories of the year, really, Sean Manor. Mature age player comes in and he's getting a regular game for arguably the second best, third best team in the comp.
Blixarves is going to take Charlie Dixon. Connor Rosie, as you said, Dwayne, started across half forward. Horn Francis started on the bench.
Stanley used his body, got rid of Sweet, and he thumps a Torp inside 50. Got plenty on it. Bergman down there. Henry's with him with the Ollie variety. Gave it to Cameron. Oh, this will work. It's a monster goal from Jezza, and he salutes the crowd. That's one of the best goals in Jezza Cameron's career, given the context of it. And the Cats, a hot start at the Adelaide Oval.
It's not supposed to bend that way, is it? The ball is not supposed to bend that way. It started from the ruck. It's another stoppage goal. We said about Geelong's midfield, were they going to be up to the challenge? Well, so far, yes. and it was Stanley who ragdolled Sweet from the ruck contest, the throw-in, and Jezza doing Jezza things against Leah. I'm not sure that's the right matchup. I think it should be Aaliyah on Neil, and it should be Zerk Thatcher on Cameron, but Port Adelaide's midfield has to lift. Get Horne-Francis onto the ground quickly. He's standing up, but a really sharp start from the Cats. They're looking really dangerous from stoppage, and their forwards doing maximum damage through Stengel and Cameron early.
The Cats are hot for Ream, except nothing less than Australia's best Ream. Rain falls at Adelaide Oval, 2-1 to nothing. Sweet takes it out of the ruck. He pumps Port Adelaide forward, bouncing ball. Humphries was gathered up by Dixon and dispossessed. Ball spills into open play. Atkins closes it down. Clears the area for the Cats. Manor and Burton have got past them. Bergman taken in the tackle. He reached for the boundary. He'll get the throw in.
Well, it was a good response from Jordan Sweet from the centre bounce. Just grabbed the ball and made a statement after being ragdolled. Charlie Dixon, that's what he's in the side for. Huge tackle on Humphries. Perhaps if he had it for just half a second longer, would have been holding the ball, but that was a statement. That's why he's playing and was selected over Todd Marshall.
It's quite the welcome to finals footy for Humphries. Tapped down one by Stewart, knocked by Stanley, knocked on further by Manor, cut off by Burne-Jones. Port Adelaide to half forward. They tap it around a bit. Radaglia gets hold of it. Muscle to hand pass forward. Holmes, though, cut it off. Gives it to Jack Henry. Cats come through the middle. It clears Neil, so the race is on at the back. Burgoyne's there. Oh, Burne-Jones was hot. Dempsey got him right on the spot. Brought him down. Ball up. Centre half forward for the Cats.
Just a hot handball from young Jace Burgoyne. Didn't need to give that. Had more time, just feeling the heat Port Adelaide's players. Geelong started so well.
Yeah, I think you're spot on there. That's the nervousness as well. It's not just the fumbles. It's the decisions you make that you don't normally make when you're thinking a bit clearer.
Burne-Jones is setting up off the back of this stoppage for protection across half-back.
Sweet knocks it down, but the Cats are inspired at the moment. They're threatening to put a big score on the board here. Duncan short. Cameron can't mark it. Knocked away. Aaliyah's got it, but they've got him. Could have been ball. Burne-Jones comes up with it. Gave it to Bogue. Hurry kick around his body. And luckily out of trouble finds Evans. He takes off at half-back. Humphries comes at him. Bomb towards the wing. Up flies Radaglia. Can't mark it. Rosie can't pounce on the Butters. They need him. And he kicks inside 50 to Rioli.
It's an unbelievable kick, Dwayne. Unbelievable, because Butters was under serious pressure. Rioli had just protected the space. Burton play on.
And he hands it to Burton, who launches long. Listen to the roar! Corner on the board. And no need to tell you, they needed that. The Cats on the host plus scoreboard lead. They've kicked 2-1-13 to Port Adelaide. 1 straight 6 on AFL Nation. Kane Corns joining our AFL Nation for Tyre Power. Big footy final sale on now. And he's our expert for MEGT, Australia's apprenticeship expert.
Well, that was all about Zach Butters. The kicking side to Willie Rioli on the edge of 50. And Port Adelaide have done this all year, be it Farrell, be it Houston. Both aren't there. So Burton is the player that has come in and been pretty solid. He's a beautiful kick, and Geelong just weren't switched on. Thought terrific contest from Radaglia at centre half forward. Got it out to the outside to Butters, and that kick was just absolutely elite to Rioli. So important. Now Horne-Francis comes on ball, and Port Adelaide's midfield depth with Mead and Horne-Francis in there, Rosie in there as well, so they've really shifted the magnets on ball.
AFL Nation for 4 and 20 pies. Sweet the tap. Bo's got the footy though, trickled it forward, Manor off the ground, it didn't work, Boat cut it off, gave it to Burton, Port to the wing, bumbling ball, punched toward the boundary by Colajasny, Horne-Francis tracks it but doesn't gather, throw it in.
So I mean, that just the ability for Port to go, okay, well let's change the three that started in there, let's put Rosie in there, the captain, Horne-Francis comes in off the bench and Mead's been important. That's what's going to test Geelong's depth and freshness with their on-ball group who has started the game so well tonight.
And the throw in, Sweet knocks it down, Burton took the tackle, how the umpires see that. He lets the try to come out, decides to board. Tossed up right in front of the interchange gates. Sweet down to Horne-Francis, caught by Manor, trying to get out the front, another ball up.
So they're going to be onto that. I mean, when he's running at speed through the stoppage, no more dangerous player.
Stanley taps it down, Bowes prodded it forward, it hit a few bodies. Boat was able to release it to Mead as a result. Kicks Port into midfield, bouncing ball. It skittles up to Holmes. breaks it away to Close, gives it on to Duncan. The Cats bring it to half forward, just wide of Cameron. He's after the footy, he's overrun it. Aliir went all the way with him. Ollie Henry picked it up, one-handed off the turf, gave it to Holmes, kicked the full forward. Manus on his own. Out near the behind post as he takes the mark in behind the defence.
Yeah, it was just the kick from Mead. It was too central. Port Adelaide actually won the contest. Mead just needed a handball release under pressure, kicked it to the corridor, and then Geelong were away. Max Holmes is starting to be a real issue, up to 5 touches, been involved in everything for Geelong.
27-year-old who's gone a long way. He's paid his dues to be part of an AFL final. Sean Manor from near the boundary hooks it too near. Hit the outside of the ball and misses. 2-2-14 to 1 straight, the Host Plus score.
See if they go up the middle again here. And again, as Kane Corn said, Geelong are onto it, but they don't trap it. Dempsey flew, didn't mark it. He toes it off the deck to keep it alive, though. Got it to Close. To Myers. Chip kick rolls through the legs of a couple. Close about to pounce. 45 from goal. Gave it up to Myers. His handball inside. He owes it one, and he gets it one manner. He missed the last one, used it as a sider and slots this. And they've got 3 on the board early. The Cats 3-2 to 1 straight 6 on the scoreboard for Host Plus on AFL Nation for 4 and 20 pies.
It was just a big contest that they won from the kick out. So Burton went long to a pretty safe spot. It was a scramble at ground level. Geelong are just too strong on the ground at the moment. And when that ball has got on the ground inside their forward 50, Port Adelaide have had no answers. So they've won 3 ground balls to 0. All 3 have led to goals. So the 3 ground balls that they've won inside forward 50, Stenger 1-1, Cameron 1-1, Manor 1-1, have equalled goals. So Port Adelaide's defenders, it's been an issue for them, winning ground ball inside defensive 50, and that's the case again tonight. But Port Adelaide's midfield have got to get going. Entries 3 to 6 early on in this game, all Geelong's way.
Bounce back in the middle, it went wide of the circles. So goals of the night for Corteva keep growing with Corteva Agri-Science.
Second rucks now in as the primary rucks, Stanley and Sweet having a rest. So Blixarves up against Charlie Dixon.
12 minutes into the opening term. Tossed up. Blixarves got high, tapped it down. Atkins got caught, was able to release the footy. Bruin tagged as he kicked it, so it came in short. It works. Myers takes the mark. From centre half forward, he's gone for Blixarves, who followed up, beat Dixon back, takes the mark in the channel.
Well, from the midfield, they're too tough at the moment. They are too tough from the midfield. Clearance is 7-4. This will be the second stoppage goal if that eventuates Geelong's way. Blixarves started in the ruck, and that's the power that he provides. So he's actually just going to go everywhere with Dixon. Started on a key defender on Charlie Dixon behind the ball, and then when Dixon goes in the ruck, he just follows him in there. And this is where they really think that there's a weapon with Blixarves' aerobic ability getting off him.
Mark Blixarves, 40 metres out, directly in front. He thumps it into the left-hand goalpost.
Big miss.
Sends it rocking to and fro. Cats by 15. TAC, stop kidding yourself. If you drink, don't drive.
They've left some out there, I reckon. Geelong kicking the ball at just 42%. So some of the entries going inside have let Port Adelaide off the hook. But they just got to get their hands on the ball. Port Adelaide got to be tougher.
So Logan Evans heads in the Charlie Dixon direction. Lyons nearly took the mark front of the pack. Dangerfield's got it outside of the boot. A wobbler gets it inside 50. Stengel's under it. Went for the chest mark. Couldn't corral it. Stays in play. Logan Evans gets it for Port. Wobbler kick. Put his teammate Rosie under pressure. Dangerfield gets it back. Gave it to Close. And he's missed as well. They have left a few out there. They've kicked 3-4. And they could easily have 7 goals, or at least 6-1. And Port Adelaide 1 straight 6 on the Host Plus scoreboard with 14 minutes gone in this opening term AFL Nation for Tyre Power. Their big footy final sale is on now.
Logan Evans trusted with the kick in. It's low. Cameron got a hand to it before Aliir could mark. So Jez plonks it back to full forward for the Cats. It's going to bounce in the pocket. Bergman's there. He sees it through for a rush behind.
2 entries, isn't it, Jared?
Cats by 17.
9-3 entries for Hijaz Halal Financial Services.
So down the middle to Jones. A well-measured kick of 35. Here's the midfield. And again, they're tough in the middle at the moment. Humphreys did well. Tough in the middle of the Cats, by the way. That's what I'm talking about. Myers gets it, gave it to Close, fed it wide. Cameron, who's on, gets it. They get him. Jones, good tackle. Dangerfield dropped that. Could have been ball. Crowd didn't yell out. Enough ball up.
Dominant early, even from the kick-outs. Repeat entries once again. And if not for a couple of missed opportunities, Geelong would be 5 goals in front. Willem Drew's got the job on Patrick Dangerfield.
They go to work at the source. Rosie prize a kick to the wing. It's a whistle, some holding. It's a Wines free kick.
Just gone forward. We'll see how aggressive they're going to be with their ball movement.
Wines hand passes wide to Rosie, who links it up to Boak, boundary side. Kicks up inside the 50. Jack Henry saw it coming. He darted back away from Radaglia, takes the intercept mark.
Poor kick from Boak.
Across the face of goal to Duncan, brings it out the far side to Bruin. Bruin measures up his kick. He liked the look of Bones. The Cats build progressively around the outer wing. Kick up to half forward. Neil, unattended, takes the mark. He's got Humphrey short, who wanted it desperately. Neil is going to go longer, though, and give them a look up at full forward. Ollie Henry was the flyer, couldn't quite hang on. Rosie in defence, fed it off to Logan Evans outside of the boot. Bruin just threw himself at the grenade, did well, and then copped one around the chops for his trouble. He'll get a free kick at right half forward.
And even the exit kick from Logan Evans was a panic kick.
There's been a few. So will Dempsey jump here? He doesn't, and good mark, Bergman.
Not a switch. They've got to get their ball movement going. It's a risky kick.
Oh, very risky. Down the spine they travel. Wines made it look a great kick. Handed it to Drew. Little double grab, but he bounces down, bounces long. Heads in the Rioli direction. Fist comes. Chance for Radaglia. Ran into a roadblock in Henry. Rioli's got it. Rolls at Georgiades. Can he get a kick away? He can, but it's a behind. Big crowd here. Edge of the seat stuff. Port fans a little nervous. Cats have got the better start. 3-5 to 1-1.
16 and a half minutes on the Makita XGT 40V max clock. Humphreys has kicking duties for the Cats. Will come the near side as he left the goal square. Pumped it in long. Zerk Thatcher favoured by the kick. Neil made the spoil. Horn Francis onto the loose ball. Hand passes out in front of Boak. Charges onto it. The veteran's in the pocket. He eyes the big sticks. He can't quite bring it back enough. And it's Port's turn to miss. 1-2 to 3-5. AFL Nation for Tyre Power. Big footy final say.
Horn Francis' first touch. Just the importance of his explosion when he gets the footy.
It's a wide wobbler. And the fullback played on from the square, so the fact that it wasn't touched doesn't end up being a free kick. It's going to be a ball in.
Just a bit of a relief for Port Adelaide's defenders, who have had no chance to have a rest. They'd be out on their feet, so at least this gives them a chance. Ball inside Port Adelaide's forward half to set up the ground the way they want it set up.
Yeah, it's a good point. They have been under siege. Drew gets the clearance. The bomb inside 50. Radaglia from behind. Can't go for the mark. Had to push the pack out. Mead front spot. Gathers, but against the boundary. He's taken out and will get a ball in. About 45 from Port Adelaide's goal. Ken Hinkley stalking the boundary line at the moment, as he likes to do. Ball about to be flung back in. Dixon doing the ruck work against Blitzars. Blitzars beats him with a second effort to it. Flicks it over the top. Mullen. Late inclusion with Stewart out. Gets a scrubby kick towards Burne-Jones though. Takes possession. Go over to Rosie. Can he hit a target? Oh, no, he can't. He had Rioli, and instead he put it laced out to Guthrie, and the Cats out of trouble again.
Guthrie's super aggressive. He found Myers, so the reward is enormous. He breaks. He kicks up for Ollie Henry. Spoil made against him, and he gathers the footy, and he's got runners going by. Fed it on to Duncan. Shot it out wide to Dangerfield. 55 from goal. The skipper kicks it out on the full.
Good chase, and they get over to him. Was it Logan Connor Rosie with the chase, who made the initial error kicking the ball inside forward 50. So good pressure. They were out aggressive across half back, which we probably haven't seen a lot of in recent times, but it's another one they've left out there with the sprayed kick at goal from Dangerfield.
Ball going long. Guthrie flies, can't mark it. Almost a free to Francis Evans, and he's going hard on the deck, but he can't break free, and the umpire will ball it up. You're right about those inside 50 kicks. Pokey had a chance and missed his target. There's been a few for Port Adelaide that have missed the spot. They've been hurried. Drew gets the clearance here off the spill. Radaglia gets there. Humphreys gets him up. It's a splendid tackle. Wrapped him up. Did he have Pryor? No. So it'll be a ball up middle of the oval.
Tackling well. 12 tackles to 6. Hijaz Halal Financial Services. Geelong, the old saying, they've definitely come to play. That's evident.
Sweet taps it out near Horn. Francis couldn't quite get hold of it. He lays a tackle to keep it in dispute. Dangerfield onto it, gave it to Mullen, found the way through. Hand pass to Close, just to relieve a little bit of pressure to Guthrie, gave him some space to work. And Mullen kept going forward to be the target. Links the hand pass up to Holmes, low inside the 50 and onto the chest of Ollie Henry.
It's just so much composure with the way that they're able to get the ball from the inside to the outside. Horn Francis may unlucky not to get a free kick, but once that ball has got to the outside of the initial scramble, Geelong's ball movement has just been far too good.
32 goals, 15, Ollie Henry. He's from the boundary, 40 out. He made great contact. It spins a bit too much late and misses on the near sides. Cats are up by 16. They've kicked 3-6 to 1-2.
And as Cam was saying, it's the inside 50 kick, so the Cats with Mullen hit that target and Ollie Henry nearly another goal. Port dodge a bullet out wide. Horn Francis goes and gets it. He leads Mullen in the chase for it. Got a handball in the Burgoyne direction, but he put him under the hammer. Sweet gets there. Tried to handball it back to Horn Francis. Cut off. Humphries gets the handball over the top. Manor caught, but he got a kick away just in time. Stengel's under it. Bergman saved him a couple of times with clean-handed marks. Almost the last line of defence for Port Adelaide.
Bergman under the old scoreboards, kicks long to the wing. Big pack of players. Spoils were naturally made. Kolajasny gathered it, caught the tackle, turned it over. Butters spins out of a tight spot, delivers to centre field. Waiting underneath it for a long time was Evans. That's Francis. They do well, Port. Wines gets the kick up to full forward, and the mark taken by Georgiades.
Well, it was Butters again, wasn't it, with the scramble ball when he got the footy in his hands. The kick inside came with some slight risk. Evans should have taken the mark. In the end, held it for a long time but fumbled, but was good enough to follow up and get the handball off to Wines. And then the one-on-one entries, Port Adelaide looked dangerous. When the ball has gone in with any favourable ball movement to give them the one-on-one entries, Rioli and now Georgiades have looked threatening, as has Radigalia, but they just haven't had enough opportunity.
25 out, slight angle to the right. Mitch Georgiades to cut the deficits, and he does. Port Adelaide 2-2-14, chase Geelong 3-6-24 on the Host Plus scoreboard. We've just tipped into time on for Selade. Seconds can be the difference between life and death. Make a difference with Selade.
Well, it's been nothing but dominant from Geelong, and to look up and to see Port Adelaide only down by 10 points with Geelong kicking 3-6, and they've left a couple of others out there with poor kicks inside forward 50. You'd have to say things couldn't be much worse for Port Adelaide with the way that they're playing. I think the long kick from your defensive half, they've got to get something better. All year they've been willing to take the game on through the middle of the ground with their ball use from half back, but Geelong have done a great job to shut that down, and their midfield's been really strong. 14 entries to 9. Now we go back to centre bounce. Let's see if Port Adelaide can win one.
6 minutes left in the opening term. Sweet. Stanley, they will get the clearance. Wines, a sweeping handball out. And it has been Butters who's been the man. He gave it to Sweet, who ran on, and he launches one forward pocket. Too much carry. Or is it marked on the line? It's too much carry.
Horn Francis went forward, took the mark, but it was a metre over the line.
So 9-point margin in the Cats' favour. Kicking was quick to Duncan, who brings it out to Dangerfield. Disposal number 7 coming up. He's got Drew for company. Cats skipper from half back to half forward. Dempsey and Myers are there, but Burton outmarks them.
He's got to be more competitive there, Myers. That ball just has to come to ground, because Geelong, when it has come to ground, they've just been absolutely devastating. So Port Adelaide have taken 4 intercept marks. This kick I don't like though, Dwayne.
Stays long down the line. Georgiades presents. Marks commandingly, gave it off to Drew. Kick to full forward. Horn Francis is there. Mullen kept it out of his hands. Now they fight. Horn Francis got it and trickled it home. It's hard to stop the bull in the paddock. Thwarted in the air, but unstoppable on the ground. And Porter within 3 points. 3-3-21 to Geelong. 3-6-24. 24 gone on the Host Plus scoreboard.
Yeah, it's an odd story though, Kane. Good forwards can make a bad kick look good. Georgiades and Horn Francis have made 2 bad kicks look good there.
Oh, I think you're right, but what it does say is that they're susceptible one-on-one, Geelong's defenders. And Port Adelaide had known that coming in. And on that occasion, it was Mullen versus Horn Francis. Good luck. Horn Francis wins that 9 times out of 10. Didn't take the initial mark. Mullen's positioning was actually really good, but he was just too strong at ground level. Beat off Blixarves as well with a great finish. I didn't like that kick long down the line, but on that occasion, Georgiades read it better. It all started from the grind Myers. He wasn't strong enough in the contest. Burton took the intercept mark, put Adelaide right back in it, although they'd be breathing a sigh of relief because this game could have almost been buried at quarter time.
The Cats have missed a few. Sweet got hands on it. Stanley can't get it. Pick off the deck by Rosie. Gets it towards half forward. Little nudge out. Too good. Guthrie's got it. Spins around. Kicks towards the wing. Bouncing ball. Bruin's got it. Gave it to Dempsey. Looks inside. Got a lot of options. Gave it to Holmes. He ran nicely through the traffic. And a little further on to Manor. Got away from one tackler. Kicked it to half forward. Flyers go off and Jones.
So that's their game for me. Geelong win the ball, but every possession was under pressure. So then you get the hurried kick inside forward 50 and Port Adelaide take another intercept mark. So this is starting to look a lot more like a Port Adelaide game and the way that they would have wanted to set things up.
Jones out to Butters across the defensive 50 for Zerk Thatcher, and he completes the transfer to the near side wing for Drew. Takes the boundary for Georgiades. Georgiades is calling for lead-up players. He's going to kick it in the sweet Radagalia direction. 4 in the air. It'll be 1 on the ground. Close closes on. He's tackled the moment he got hold of it. Pull it up, 55 from the Port goal.
Pressure's gone up. That occasion, Connor Rosie. So as I said, it's looking much more like the way Port Adelaide would have wanted this game to be set up.
Smith taps it down to the side and ricocheted to Holmes. He clears the Cats off half-back. It's a hurried long kick. Cameron flew, Lear spoiled underneath Burn-Jones. Puts Port back to half-forward. Stanley cut it off. He's tackled as he kicks. It'll wobble to the wing. Cats have got good numbers to it. And Burn-Jones grabbed hold of Manor. Having a terrific opening term. Kicks up to close. Needs someone going by. Bowes offers. Inside 50. Straight to Jeremy Cameron.
It's a nice kick from Bowes. That's exactly where Jeremy Cameron wants it, and he has looked threatening. They've just had time and space at time, too much time and space. Port Adelaide's pressure has increased. Of course, the free kick in the marking contest helped and got everyone offside, but just a good lower of the eyes from Bowes and the perfect kick. You feel like Geelong deserved this one to go through just with the dominance that they've had so far with a couple of minutes left in this first quarter.
Cats have got to get it on the board. Set shot. Slightly to the left. Jeremy Cameron from 48. It's at the left-hand post and it hits the left-hand post. They've rattled the woodwork twice and they're 7 behind. And the lead is 4 points.
So how aggressive will Port Adelaide be here with 3 minutes left only in the opening term? So from full back, they do go down the spine again. Dixon had a rest, so he's back on.
Free kick in the marking contest against Blixarves. So Port Adelaide's first free kick of the night.
Dixon's got it. Round of applause for him. Holds it in the middle. Heads inside to Logan Evans. Gee, aggressive, dangerous, but perfect. Logan goes wide. Burgoyne's got it. Half-forward flank, 80 from goal. He looks up. He's got Georgiades on the lead. Puts it out in front and he's got it. Amazing pass, great lead. But that's the difference, the inside 50 kick, if you can hit a target, and this guy can kick it from here.
It's good ball movement. I mean, you asked the question, Dwayne, how risky do Port Adelaide want to be with 2 minutes left in the first quarter? Well, pretty risky. You saw that with Charlie Dixon going inside to Evans, and then they had the overlap. Burgoyne did a really good job of holding his width on that outside wing, and he's been a much improved player. Burgoyne looks more comfortable at the level every week, and this is Port Adelaide's best forward. Georgiades, can he slot an unlikely late goal?
This is for the lead for Port Adelaide in the shadows of quarter time. He struck it pretty well. It's drifted a little. It's across the face.
He's kicked 1 goal too. Margin is 3 points. Guthrie on the kick in for the Cats. He cleared the defensive 50. So Ollie Henry's his best hope. Thatcher, tremendous grab.
They've been good in the air, their defenders, after a slow, nervy start.
Back inside 50 for Port. Horn Francis propelled at it, couldn't take the mark. Guthrie used Mullen and Holmes to get it beyond the defensive 50, and Atkins did well.
He looks dangerous, doesn't he, Jared Horn Francis? Like just the way that he launched to that footy. I mean, the balance is going to be for them. how much time forward, inside forward 50, where he looks their most dangerous, and how much time midfield where they've needed him today as well.
Inside the last minute of the opening term, Cats go short. Bruin has footy in hand. There's still a few seconds to whittle away. Bruins kicked it long to a contest. Ollie Henry up over the top. Takes the two-grabber. Dixon rammed his head into the turf. He's a fraction lucky to get away with that. The 50 would have had him having a shot at goal. Blitzarves is the target. Oh, he almost took the mark. Off to Stanley. On to Stengel. Out to the pocket. Manor dances. Left foot kick. Just a fraction shallow. And Burn-Jones did enough to claim the mark.
Gee, they've left some out there. I thought the Stengel handball to Manor was so smart.
Just couldn't quite get enough oomph into the kick. And the intercept marking inside 50. Port Adelaide build those numbers and reach quarter time trailing by just 3 points. Geelong 3-7-25, Port Adelaide 3-4-22, the host plus scoreboard. Our goal kickers Cameron, Manor and Stengel for the Cats. Burton, Horn-Francis and Georgiades for the Power. AFL Nation for 4 and 20 pies, and for Tyre Power, Big Footy final sale.
That quarter on AFL Nation was for Elders, your reliable partner in rural and regional Australia.
The Workside Portaloo.
Okay.
What better place to head to bizcover.com.au and check out all the ways you could be saving money on your business insurance.
Electrician.
Like your public liability. Because only BizCover lets you compare, save, and get instant cover online, on the go, in minutes.
I can save $400. Oh, woohoo!
You all right, Brad? Check how much a tradie like you could save on your business insurance. For on-the-go cover,
go BizCover.
Experience the power of Milwaukee's M18 outdoor power equipment. From blowers, trimmers to lawnmowers and chainsaws, Milwaukee's outdoor power equipment meets the performance and durability needs of landscape professionals. With over 250 solutions on the one battery platform, take your battery off-site today and power a world of outdoor solutions. Explore the outdoor power equipment range at milwaukeetool.com.au. Milwaukee, nothing but heavy duty.
Winning season news update.
This season in the Monopoly game at Macca's, there are prizes like 3 Isuzu MUX SUVs and 2 $10,000 Webjet gift cards. For a 1 in 4 chance to win, download the My Macca's app and play today.
Ends October 22. For full terms, visit mcdonalds.com.au.
Is your barbecue lonely in the backyard? Next to the shed, gathering dust, year after year, never to reignite the flame you once had? Why not buy a barbecue you'll actually love at Barbecues Galore?
In construction, civil works, mining, agriculture or heavy haulage and looking at the next big project? Don't let paperwork or big upfront costs slow you down. With Yellowgate, you don't have to choose between hiring and buying machinery. Our Rent Now, Buy Later solution lets you rent the gear you need today before deciding what's best for tomorrow. Enjoy manageable monthly rental payments, operational efficiency and better cash flow management. Join the other Australian businesses already using Yellowgate. Visit ygg.com.au.
Hi, it's Shelley Craft. For locally made gift ideas that shine like green and gold, check out Australian Made's top Aussie products, the go-to resource to find the very best Aussie-made goodies. From handcrafted homewares and accessories to innovative Aussie inventions, you'll find a top Aussie product for every occasion. Each one carries the trusted green and gold kangaroo logo, so you can be sure it's genuinely Aussie. Hop to australianmade.com.au/top Aussie and support local while you shop.
Whether you need to build, repair or create, there's a Loctite product for all your project needs. Whether you're doing small or big projects, Loctite provides DIYers, tradies and engineers with reliable adhesive and sealant solutions. From the smallest details to your biggest ambitions, Loctite goes beyond the bond to help you get your job done right. For more information and to find your closest Loctite product stockist, search Loctite today.
Hi, Josh Kennedy here. If you're looking to support a 100% Aussie energy retailer that's backed by Snowy Hydro, a leader in renewable energy, and has an amazing team of consultants all based here in Australia, you should give our friends at Red Energy a call today. They're good people, they have competitive rates, and they'll look after you. In fact, tell them I sent you. Call 131 806 or go to redenergy.com.au. Eligibility criteria and conditions apply.
Flat footy moments to avoid this season.
The second half.
At a Barbie, here's Jackson and his mates checking the stats for a multi. No! His battery goes flat! He can't get live updates!
Stay charged with a Signet power bank. Compact and lightweight, it fits in your pocket, and you'll never go flat or miss any part of the game. Signet power banks, available at signet.com, as well as in-store at JB Hi-Fi and other leading retailers.
You're listening to AFL Nation for Tyre Power. Big footy final sale now on. And 4 and 20 pies. 4 and 20 pies, Australia's original fan food.
Clears the pack, the runner's on at the back, Stengel has the footy, got out of a tight spot and sock of the goal. Inventive stuff from Tyson Stengel. The Cats have the first.
The Ollie variety gave it to Cameron. Oh, this will work. It's a monster goal from Jezza, and he salutes the crowd. That's one of the best goals in Jezza Cameron's career.
Commandingly gave it off to Drew, kicked it full forward. Horn Francis there, Mullen kept it out of his hands. Now they fight. Horn Francis got it and trickled it home. It's hard to stop the ball in the paddock. Water in the air, but unstoppable on the ground.
Macca's. I'm loving it moments. The Monopoly game at Macca's is back.
Geelong by 3 points at quarter time. Around the grounds for Chemist Warehouse. Heading to Chemist Warehouse for great savings every day at selection. No Bedford for the Giants, no Curnow for the Blues. Kane Corns for MEGT, Australia's apprenticeship expert.
Fascinating game of football. Geelong probably should be 4 or 5 goals up at quarter time. They left a lot out there. Some of those were easy ones. Henry and Cameron both hit the left goal post to the old scoreboard end, so they'd be disappointed with that. Port Adelaide would be breathing a sigh of relief that they're only 3 points down. Really interesting that Geelong have scored 2 goals from stoppage. Port Adelaide just 1 point. You would have thought, well, that's Port Adelaide's strength from stoppage doing the damage there. But it was Geelong's midfield who got the better of Port Adelaide, particularly in the first 15 or 20 minutes of that quarter. Port Adelaide scored 3 goals off Geelong's turnovers. Their ball use wasn't great, Geelong, and that's the reason they're not up by 4 or 5 goals. Port Adelaide just got to get their hands on the footy. Disposal was 100 to 75, so the Cats on target for 400 touches. They're also on target for 71 entries. Give Geelong 71 entries, they win this game by 4 or 5 goals. So Port Adelaide have to rise defensively. Their pressure has to be better, but more importantly, their midfield has to go to work. You've got to see Rose, you've got to see Butters and Horn Francis when he's there, because Geelong torched them in that first quarter.
AFL Nation for 4 and 20 pies and for Tyre Power. Big footy finals sale. Second term is underway. It's Geelong by 3 points. Sweet wins the opening tap. Holmes was favoured by it though. He gathers and has a bounce in a second as he crosses the wing, and a third for Holmes. He'll kick Geelong up to full forward. What have they got? Ollie Henry reached up. Stengel at the back. Another off the ground. Ruthless from the centre bounce by the Cats. Stengel with his second. And the lead is 9 points. 4-7 to 3-4 on the Elders for Australian Agriculture scoreboard.
Third goal from stoppage, that time from centre bounce. Jordan Sweet dominated the hit out. Got it out into space, but Holmes just set up beautifully. He pushed Butters underneath the contest, got him on the outside, and then his run and carry, 3 or 4 bounces, deep entry inside forward 50, ground ball inside forward 50. That is the game right there, as we discussed prior to the ball even being bounced. If Geelong give them that amount of entries in dangerous spots, they're going to kick a big score. Really disappointing from the lack of connection between ruck and midfield for Port Adelaide to start this second term, but the ideal start for Geelong.
Not even a minute gone on the Makita XGT 40-volt max clock. So the clearance is big here. Geelong get it to half forward, but the rolling ball is wrapped up, and we'll get a ball up with Burton.
Just reckon they've moved Drew over to Holmes, which I like.
Okay, we'll keep an eye on that. So Drew trying to pounce. Stanley in the middle of it. Big pack around it, trying to get it out. Sweet did extract it. Dangerfield kept it there. Wines got it. They've got him. Get another ball up, middle of the ground. Ground a little pensive at the moment. Cats are up for the fight. Have been from the opening bounce. Ball knocked into the distance, and then the pack descended. Stanley had a sneaky chance. Wines goes and gets it. Kick off the side of his boot. Burn Jones caught by Stengel. He's held up and will get another bounce. this time on the point of the centre square at half forward for the Cats.
So good on the outside, Geelong. Once that ball's got onto the outside, maximum devastation.
Sweet finds Butters, works his way through the stoppage to link it up with Drew, and then to Burn Jones off half back. Nice kick for Radagalia. He's marked it just above the turf. Radagalia up onto the right boot. Dixon at full forward. Rioli will be underneath. Spoils are made. Knocked out the side. Closing fast was Boak. He gathers against the boundary. Good hand pass to Georgiades, then to Rioli. Slipped the tackle, got it onto his boot. No direction on the kick though. Across the face, and Dempsey takes the intercept mark.
Rising star chips it to Kolajasny, one back pocket to the other. And he takes some time. Chips his kick to Buse, still in the back pocket for the Cats. Lead 31 to 22 by 9. Early stages, second term. Brought to us by Elders for Australian Agriculture. Now the long kick in the Stanley direction. Sweet's there, knocked down. Stanley, Drew, both went down to pick it up. Sweet flings the handle over his head to Boak. So Boak turns and goes. He heads in the Dixon direction. Muscles his way to it. Can he get a kick off the deck, Big Charlie? Getting it off the carpet, not his forte. And we'll get a ball up top of the goal square at full forward
position as well. The kick from Boak was actually advantageous to Dixon. Stuck out the left hand. I know he practices that a lot. It just didn't stick for him. Had a second look on the ground, but Geelong defended it well.
Pulled it full forward. Sweet knocks it goal side. They're after it. Wines has the thread. He takes the tackle. He kept it alive momentarily. It spills out over the boundary.
It's better once again. Like once you can get some time in your forward half and set up across half-back, Port Adelaide's game looks far more sound, and Alir can just move people where he wants to and set up, and Port Adelaide can give their defenders a rest.
Cats by 9. Port deep in the left forward pockets. Bunted down to the front. Stanley actually ended up with it, but he's in the tackle of Rioli.
Just watch for Rioli. Butters on the move. Atkins has got care of Butters, and Rioli's going to get on the move, trying to block for Connor Rosie.
Sweet tips it down. Stanley blunted it off the turf. Went Buse, didn't quite clear the area. They stack up on top of it, ball up. TAC, stop kidding yourself. If you drink, don't drive. 48 from the Port goal. Knocked to the side, knocked on by Rosie. Radagalia tipped it to his own advantage. Atkins shut that down. Drew got a hand pass picked up by Myers, ran into Wines. Stopped on the spot, ball it up, 25 out from Port's goal.
Defending well. Port Adelaide looks to be a focus to get it out into space, almost just knock it forward at all costs.
Sweet, Stanley go at it. Hughes has got it, Rioli's got him.
Repeat stoppages, look for a free kick from the umpires to break this open.
Sweet, Stanley go up, Wines, he's kicked it out on the full. That was a banana that didn't bend.
Had a bit more time. I mean, you're not the player you want in that situation in the phone box, but had just a fraction more time. That's finals footy.
It's been the case for Port Adelaide a bit. They've been a little jumpy. So Henry long and good mark Alir about to send Port back inside 50.
Yeah, probably his first real look at it tonight, Alir. First intercept mark's got the big job on Jeremy Cameron.
Out onto the right boots, back to full forward. So entry after entry for Port. Wines got it underneath. Kick was tipped on the way through. It'll bounce in the square. Butters is closing. Couldn't get there. Dempsey and Guthrie did a good job. Rushing through from behind. The margin is 8 points on the Elders scoreboard for Australian Agriculture.
Living inside Port Adelaide's forward 50. Geelong just looking to try and break this open. The kick out gives them the opportunity. Look how high their players. Everyone in front of centre for Geelong.
Guthrie to Dangerfield or Holmes. He looked around and had to go and did go. He got it out of play. And got a ball in. Half forward for Port Adelaide. About 55 from their goal. So Dangerfield and Drew side by side. Atkins and Wine side by side, and Manor and Rosie side by side for this ball in. Free kick's been found.
It's gone Geelong's way. I thought it was the other way. I thought there was a high across Sweet, but it might have been the second one. In fact, it's going off the ball to Dangerfield against Willem Drew.
I tend to watch the tag. It's a Dangerfield wide to Holmes.
He's dangerous, Holmes.
Has a bounce and looks up and now drives it long. Bergman's in a good spot here. Ran under it a bit. Ball falls to the back. Cameron again. Pounced it on it. Got it. Hands it back out to Myers. 55 out. Chip kick. Central. Good spoil. Knock to the deck. Atkins knock on. Wines. Got it up just in time. Francis Evans. And Radagalia flies. Can't mark it on the wing. Horn Francis lays the tackle. Holding ball up on the wing.
They were out there.
23 to 31.
Sorry, Dwayne. Ball over the back. Cameron had a good look. Just a little fumble and Port Adelaide were able to mop it up, but that was another missed opportunity.
Sweet clean down to Wines, off to Boak. Bouncing ball to half forward. Awkward. Radagalia is out the back after a couple toppled over. Radagalia, he got brought down, released it to Georgiades, out to Rioli. Here's the snap. There's the goal. Willie Rioli strikes. Porter back to 2 points. Elders scoreboard, your reliable partner in rural and regional Australia. 4-5-29 to Geelong, 4-7-31. We've gone 8 minutes of the second term on the Makita XGT 40 VMAX clock.
Well, the ball is living inside Port Adelaide's forward half. It's their first stoppage goal that they've kicked of the evening. Now, there was nothing scientific about it. I actually think Radicali has been really important with a couple of his contests, and he was the one that set that one up to get to the outside. And that's the player you want with the footy in his hands when he doesn't have much room. Willie Rioli looks threatening, as do all of Port Adelaide's forwards. When they've had a fast entry go inside forward 50, they've looked really threatening, but they just haven't given them enough opportunities. And we've got a game on our hands. It's going to be one of those games tonight where it is an arm wrestle, but Port Adelaide have the game on their terms in this second term, despite the early goal to Geelong to start the second quarter.
So Port threatened to take the lead here. Wines with the clearance to Horn. Francis looks up. He's got trouble. Free come at him. He got a handball away to Rosie. He did do well. Back inside, the handball back to Horn Francis to set up the goal that might take the lead. He sends it long. Will Rioli jump? He does. He's got it. Play on. Goal anyway. Play on to advantage. And the goal's being kicked
Evans, I reckon.
by Evans off the spill. Now, can you play on from a mark, though? Or is it McEntee? Can you play on from a mark, though?
Well, I don't reckon he played the mark.
Okay.
So he could have played an absolute screamer to Willie Rioli. It was Horn Francis, it was Rosie involved. And once again, the deep entry going inside forward 50. Willie Rioli, Dwayne, as you called, has nearly pulled down an absolute screamer. Did everything but hold it for a fraction more of a second. And McEntee just almost took it out of his hands and kicked a really clever goal. So for the first time tonight, I reckon Gerard Port Adelaide have kicked back-to-back goals and looked really dangerous when that ball goes deep inside forward 50, and all their prime movers were involved. It was Rioli, it was Horn Francis, it was Rosie, and McEntee, an unlikely goal scorer.
It's Port who are getting hot for Ream. Bounce back in the middle. The home team by 4. Sweet the tap. Stanley does the roving. Broke his way past Horn Francis. Kicks Geelong to full forward. Aliir made the spoil or dropped the mark really in the end. Bergman dispossessed. Bowes found a way through onto his boot. He floated it through for a goal. Jack Bowes finds a way. And in a pressure-packed environment, he got a cheapie there. Cats reclaim the lead, 5-7-37 to Port Adelaide, 5-5-35.
Yeah, well, it's just not good enough from your ruck. You can't be allowing Reece Stanley, who at times this year has been uncompetitive, been in reasonable form for the last month, to grab the ball out of the centre bounce and drive it under no pressure. Horn Francis missed a tackle in the middle of the ground, a deep entry. Geelong have looked so dangerous, as I keep saying, when the ball hits the deck inside forward 50. So speak about another unlikely goal kicker in Bowes. Just you would be thrilled to get a goal out of him. So, I mean, it's a really good response from Geelong when it looked as though Port Adelaide were about to gain some momentum and their home fans were about to let off some amazing noise here at the Adelaide Oval. It's a really good response.
Right, to record that again. In the middle, it'll be a ball up.
Stanley's playing a really clever game here. The way he's roving. Sweets taps, and Holmes is down on the bench with his boot off. Just a slightly concerning scene for Spitwater.
He's got his foot being looked at by the doctor as Atkins takes off. Gets the clearance for the Cats, sends him inside 50 and Bergman. Again, great grab, last line of defence.
They saved them because they're getting smashed out of the centre bounce.
That's why Dillard Sweet can't take the mark, ball hits the deck. Handball inside was good from McEntee, and now Burgoyne. Long towards half forward, Radagalia. Good compete, got it to ground, went and got the ball, gave the free kick away to Jack Henry.
Thought it was harsh, thought he did pretty well. He's competing really hard, Radagalia. There's no frills, there's no polish about what he does, but he's been asked to provide a contest, and that's what he's giving.
Short to Bruin, who is going to give ground. He's been called to play on as he balked the option and instead goes long down the line. Stanley sweep. Dempsey up over the top, rises and takes the mark, and he lands immediately to play on. Delivers the Cats inside 50. Slightly awkward ball off hands. Bergman took the footy. Ollie Henry took him. It'll be a ball up.
It was a really poor kick from Dempsey. Had Henry leading up on just an easy lead up, similar to the way Bowes hit Cameron in the first quarter, but went long to no advantage whatsoever to his teammate.
Dempsey rows the tap of Sweet, turns himself goal side, gets it up to full forward. Duncan almost. Ollie Henry waltzes in. Cats do the crumbing and get the cream and build their lead back to 8 points. 6-7-43 to Port Adelaide, 5-5-35. Elders scoreboard for Australian Agriculture.
They're just scoring too easily when the ball goes in. So this Port Adelaide back six, I mean, it is a bit of a makeshift back six, and they've been found out. Geelong have gone inside forward 55 times for Hijaz Halal Financial Services in this quarter for 3 walk-in goals, essentially. Stengels is a walk-in goal, Henry's is a walk-in goal, Bowes was a bit more complicated than that, but pretty easy goals under not a lot of pressure. So they've got to limit the amount of entries going in, and they've got to defend like their life depends on it, because right now Port Adelaide's defence, particularly when the ball hits ground level, has been a bit of a liability.
Dixon in the ruck against Blitzars now.
This is a danger as well, because Blitzars has the engine, as we saw in the first quarter, to really get off Charlie Dixon and charge forward.
Margin back out to 8 points. Cats favouring. They get the clearance. Bowes kicks them to half forward. Over the hands towards Manor. He's got it. He gave it up to Myers. Danger. 50 from goal. He misses the target. Zerk Thatcher takes the mark. Back pocket for Port Adelaide.
I like that one again, Brian Myers. I mean, no more damaging player under not a lot of pressure, kicking it inside forward 50. Laced out Zerk Thatcher.
Zerk Thatcher towards Dixon. Dixon, Blitzars battle. Ball hits the deck. Mullen's got it. Barrels his way through a couple. Got a handball out in the Myers direction, up against the boundary. Sweeps the handball, but straight to Lon Francis. He can set it up for Port Adelaide. Chip kick was Porter Radaglia. Put it out in front of him for the bounce. He got it anyway. Gave it inside. Gave it to Boak. Wobbler kick from Boak. Georgiades might make it look good. Little tap to his own disadvantage, really. Kolodziejski's got it. Georgiades got him. Crowd wanted ball. Guthrie kept it alive. Gave it to Blitzars. Kicks around the body towards the wing. Jones and Burton jumps in. So Port about to go inside 50.
Intercept marks 10-5, Port Adelaide's way.
Burton kicks it to the hot spot. Blitzars was well placed.
There's one.
Wins it right back.
Poor kick from Burton. That's just no man's land, kicking it there.
Plays with Bunnings traders here to help. Across the face of goal's a bit dicey. Kolodziejski had to get rid of it in a hurry. Humphrey's problem now. Finds a way through and finds a target in Buse. Follows up as well. Humphreys gets it back. Links it up with Duncan. Humphreys, third time in the movement. Kicks a good one too. Bowes has it. He's got runners inboard. He doesn't use Broad. He goes more direct. He's gone to close. It was a bit of a mismatch and it didn't work. Jones underneath brings it away for Port. Off to Burgoyne. Up to Butters. Fake the ball inboard. Kicks across the centre square instead. Boak has it. Quick release. Drew. Right into centre field for Rosie. Thought about giving it back to Boak. Turns goal side instead. Mead is on his own. Good build-up. Kick up to full forward. Georgiades moves Buse underneath. McEntee's the crummer in the pocket. Gives it to Georgiades. Has a look on the centering kick. Dixon couldn't get it. Guthrie brings it away.
So Guthrie down the spine. Now he looks wide. He's got to run around wide. There's Dempsey. He gets it and goes. And he put Burgoyne in his wake. Now Burgoyne got him by the dax. It's a roller inside 50. Jeremy Cameron beaten by Lear. Gave it to Jones. Jones inside the Zerk.
Terrific chase from Burgoyne. Saved a certain goal.
Yeah, absolutely. Chip kick wide. Logan Evans has got it now for Port Adelaide.
And Georgiades missed Rioli with the easy spot up inside forward 50 and turned it over. So the game's opened up here.
So Bergman from the wing sends it long. Dixon's going to have to go. He does go. Radaglia from 3 deep is trying to claim the mark. I said no way, son.
Never a mark. Came off about 2 sets of hands before he got hands on it.
So the score in the second term for Elders for Australian Agriculture. Port Adelaide 5-5, 35, Cats 6-7, 43, 18 gone.
Cats whisk it away off half-back. Manna tried off the ground under enormous pressure. Boat piles in on top. Manna tried to release. Umpire to ball it up.
Just getting through too easily. Port Adelaide's last 9 weeks has been built on that pressure, but I just feel like Geelong are getting on the outside, working much harder, and their ball movement is far superior.
Blitz arms down to Bowes, fashioned to kick forward. Stengel made a good spoil and then towed it forward off the ground. It works for Neil. He's got it front of the centre square. He'll wind it up to full forward. Give Cameron the drop on Aliir. Use the body. Aliir over the shoulder. Close off the ground. Myers on the behind line. He's at it, so too is Burgoyne. They tussle for it. It's over the line for a rushed score. Cats by 9, and Holmes is about to return for Spitwater high-pressure washers down on the bench.
Up and back basketball. Yeah. Not with the final that I was expecting. The first quarter was more of that, but ball movement now for both sides is becoming far too easy.
Dylan Jones down the middle. He's got Rosie in the middle. He doesn't go for it. Georgiades does. Can't mark it. Hits the deck. Kolodjasny's got it. Willem Drew's got him. Get a ball up middle of the ground. Port took the lead for a fleeting moment. Cats have dominated scoreboard-wise for the majority of the game. Boak picks it up. Another wild kick to a 50-50. Floating ball, middle of the ground. Mead went and got it. Gave a handball up. It was horrible. It might still work. No, it doesn't. Mullen got there. Got it to Guthrie. Handball's back to Humphries. Half-back flank. He heads out wide. Dempsey's there. Early jump. Great grab. Nice little sit from the rising star winner, Ollie Dempsey, on the wing.
Got Manna inside as well. Just took too long to go there, but they got the run, Geelong. They're all over them.
Links it to Humphries, who goes on a bouncing run and delivers the Cats to full forward. Neil comes out. Clunks the footy in front of his eye.
Yeah, I wouldn't be happy if I was Ken Hinkley. I reckon this is real danger signs with the way that this game is being played out. If this continues, this will be an easy victory for Geelong. That just the ease of which they are moving the football from their defensive half to their forward half, and how dangerous their forward line is looking. There are concerns everywhere for the ease in which Geelong is scoring when they've gone inside forward 50, particularly in the second term.
Shannon Neal, tight angle over on the left, 35 metres out from goal. Neal has struck it near side. The Cats add to their behind telly. The lead grows to 10 points on the Elders scoreboard for Australian Agriculture.
So from marks, they've kicked 0 goals 6, Geelong. In general play, they've kicked 6 goals 1. So their set shot accuracy tonight is the reason this game hasn't been over. They are 0-6 from set shots.
8.5 minutes left in the second. A nice move from Logan Evans down the spine. Heads in the Dixon direction. He gets up there. Charlie can't mark it. Hits the deck. McEntee rolled in the tackle. Will get a ball up middle of the ground. Cats came out hot, clean-handed from the outset. Port a little nervous and fumbly. Good attack from both Dangerfield and Rosie. Ball not to Drew. Handles it in the Boat direction. Now he's got time to use it wisely. He just sends it long in hope to Rioli. One-on-one. Rioli can't get there, and it's stumped to the boundary. And we'll get a ball in forward pocket for Port Adelaide, who trail by 10 with 7.5 minutes left in the second.
Just Miss Torn Francis with the forward handball there would have run to the edge of 50 and had a shot. But watch him here at this forward stoppage. This is where he gets dangerous.
Sweet and Blitzavs, Sweet down to the front. Atkins took it, forwards the path clear and barrels the ball into centre field. Stengel takes the mark. The Cats, they've got wide open runners up front. The kick is intended for Byers. It didn't get there. Poorly placed, and Burton with the next intercept mark for Port.
A couple of mistakes there. They had Atkins in a tackle inside 450, would have been holding the ball, but he escaped, and the talk down the middle to Stengel, but then Stengel missed his target. So a lot of mistakes in this game.
Francis Evans and Drew now. Drew from the broadcast wing, kicks Port to half forward. Georgiades flies up over the top, takes the high mark, lands and plays on. Horn Francis at full forward, it bounced on the way. Jack Henry did well. He rode the tackle and got the kick away. Bergman, though, forces the issue at centre half forward. Off to Butters, back to Jones, onto Aliir, kicks it around the perimeter. Burn-Jones with footy in hand on the wing.
Oh, Georgiades missed Horn Francis. Just had to give him a chance, Dwayne. Just shanked the kick going inside forward 50.
Trying to work out if that's just poor skill level or nervousness still.
Just had to give himself an out. Just give it some air and put it favoured side. Don't try and drill it.
So the big pack forms. Dangerfield flies. Can't mark it. Last line of defence. Humphries sweeps a handball to close. Heads out wide. Holmes, he has a little fumble. Wrapped up by Burgoyne. Ball in the congestion. Number of players around it. Holmes got it to Stengel. He's at half-back, lending a hand. Got it to the wing. Neil there. Can't mark. Jones gets it for Port. Gave it to Aaliyah. Chip kick is good. Found Sweet. Hands it off. Winds. Heads to full forward. Georgiades. Can't mark it. Knocked away. Duncan there. Couldn't quite take possession. Might still get it though. They jump on him as he jumps on it. Dangerfield sweeps on it. Gave it to Colin Jasny. Back towards Jack Henry. Trouble. No, they can rush it behind if they want to. And they do. Mullen clever enough to take it through for a behind. So the Cats doing pretty much everything right, even though the lead could be a lot bigger than it is right now, 9 points.
Just feel like they're covering the ground better, and there's just the out for them. Geelong, yes, there's some mistakes in the game, but there's been a composure about the way that they've played, and they've been pretty cool when under pressure. Even that example there, just to do the right thing and rush the footy when you're under pressure, and now just take some heat out of the game, possess the footy, time in possession, just takes a little bit of sting out of it. It's been a mature performance.
Humphries and Myers are kicking it around. We're in time on for Selade. Seconds could be the difference between life and death. Make a difference with Selade. Long kick up the line. Cats win the ground ball again. Buse fed it on to Holmes. Worked it forward to Cameron. Linked it up to Atkins. And on to Manor. Has a look from half forward. Sets it deep. Stengel. Goal. His third. The Cats get through with a surgical strike. The lead is 15 points. 7-9-51 to Port Adelaide. 5-6-36. A team goal of the night for Corteva. Paradigm Aralex active herbicide. Reliable weed spectrum control in cereals.
Yeah, well, control, and then when it's time to go fast, go fast. So control build up from half-back, take some sting out of the game, get it to a contest where they've just been devastating. So any time the ball's gone to a marking contest, ball on the ground, Geelong have been all over it, and their ability to run and get Port Adelaide out the back on that occasion, far too easy. They are all over them. They've got the game exactly where they would want to have it, and there's alarm bells going everywhere for Ken Hinkley. The ball needs to be more of a contest in tight for Ken, whereas for Chris Scott to be loving this ball in open space. Geelong have been absolutely devastating, and Stengel is eyeing off a huge finals night.
7-9 to 5-6. Cats lead. From the ball up, Sweet had a sneaky chance, couldn't. Drew does, gave it up to Rosie. Puts the Jets on and gets a kick inside 50 that's long, but not to the advantage side, and Jack Henry takes the mark, and Charlie Dixon is kind of having one of those nights.
Yeah, he can't get near it, Dwayne, just one touch.
I was trying to be a bit more diplomatic than that, but you're right, he can't get near it. Only Henry flies, can't take possession. Burn-Jones sees it roll out, and we'll get a ball in. And you had Daniel Hoyne on this week. Geelong like the ball in chaos, ground ball, and they're getting plenty of that.
That's it. They want the ball on the ground. Port Adelaide want the ball in uncontested marks, but low uncontested mark game, just 33 to 35 uncontested marks each. The ball has lived in chaos, and Geelong exploiting Port Adelaide exactly as they drew it up.
Sweet clean to Boat. Across his boot went Stanley. Burn-Jones got the ricochet. Port to half forward. Humphries made the spoil over the top. Duncan, good job underneath. Hand pass was clean to Atkins. Kicks the Cats to half forward. Ollie Henry flies one way. Logan Evans the other. Dangerfield is the crummer. Takes it in one hand. Burst through them. Hand pass to close. Swept it out wide for Myers. Can he get it to his boot? He can. He does. And he goes. Brute force from Paddy Dangerfield to pry the opening. And the Smalls did the rest. 21-point leaders as the rain returns to Adelaide Oval. 8-9-57 to Port Adelaide. 5-6-36 with 4 minutes to go on the Makita XGT 40V Max clock.
Yeah, I mean, how good have they been? Geelong, what a performance. What a vintage performance there. Dangerfield involved. They're just moving the ball with such speed. Port Adelaide just can't go with them. They look second rate at the moment. It is alarming. This game is quickly getting away from them. It's been a huge quarter for Geelong after Port Adelaide got themselves back into this game. They've kicked 5 goals to 2, and they've had 7 scoring shots from 12 entries. It feels like every time the ball goes inside 450, they are going to score. They are running right here at Adelaide Oval, causing a huge boil over.
Ken Hinkley could call a timeout and do it about now. Vaughan Francis trying to generate some momentum. He didn't have it. He was grabbed, and they'll get a free kick. Willenbrew plays on to advantage. Spears it straight down the spine to Georgiades. He was nudged. And he got a free. No, he gave a free away. So Jack Henry's free. Maybe it's against Radaglia.
Might have been for an unrealistic attempt, I'm not sure.
Wide debuts. Chip kick is good to Atkins, so some tempo here.
Yeah, it's control. It's what it is. It's sensing what the game needs and playing to exactly that. And when you go fast like now, you go fast.
So Bowes launches over the heads of a couple. Lears down there. Dangerfield's had a couple of good moments. Jeremy Cameron, a fumble, a collect, a roller, a goaler! Oh my goodness. Jezza at his absolute best, and he's got two rippers. And Port Adelaide have big, big trouble.
Well, that was it. I mean, that's just what they've done so well. They've played control from the back half when they felt like they needed to, and then when Bowes has no one come and stand the mark, he just plays on and gets a deep entry. You win a contest on the edge of 50 and you let your star forwards go to work, and Jeremy Cameron tells the Port Adelaide crowd all about it. The two of the goals he's kicked tonight have just been absolutely from the top shelf, but they're all involved. They are all involved. All of the Geelong forwards looking dangerous. Jeremy's got 2, Stengel's got 3, and then everyone else is chipping in as well. But it's been a disastrous night so far from Port Adelaide and Ken Hinkley. 27 points. He's not a lot in modern football, but it feels like a lot tonight.
Ball back in the middle for Maccas. The Monopoly game at Maccas is back. Cats have kicked 5 in a row. Horne-Francis out the front, on the gather. Can he do something about it? Steers the pass, cut off by Jack Henry, didn't complete the mark. Bowes clears the area. Horne-Francis is a one-man show.
He's angry.
He's got it with the mark set at 50.5 metres.
He's a powerful kick. Sometimes doesn't like to kick long. He often goes, and his first option is kick short.
Can you take on Atkins here?
I think he just wheels around to the right. I'd love Burton to get out of his way.
Oh, would you? Why?
Get out the way and let him actually do what he's wanting to do. I don't know why Ryan Burton is standing right in that kicking lane.
Jason Horne-Francis from long range winds it up, leapt into it. It was a helicopter off the boot. And it is through for a behind. Margin is 26 points, not making a certainty of their goals for DLF Seeds. Clean crop, brassica system, control weeds, increase yields.
And this could be a bigger lead. Cats at 9-9. We talked about it earlier.
Dominant playing, absolute dominant display.
So short to the back pocket to Holmes. He in turn to Dangerfield. He's having a good 10-15 minutes. He drops this one, but he's okay. It's bounced out of play. That's a win. 63-37. MEGT, Australia's apprenticeship experts, our expert Kane Corns, and the clock for Makita XGT 40V Max. 2 minutes left to half-time, and it can't come quick enough for Port Adelaide. And Burton, with a little bit of help, rolls it towards the line and will get a ball in. So Horne-Francis, Dangerfield, two of the most powerful athletes in the game, waiting down for a Connor Rozee, who's brewing for company. And from the ruck contest, ball slapped down to Rozee. Got to kick away quickly. Got it towards half forward, bouncing ball. Tackle Lance, holding on the ball surely. Bowes is wrapped up by a brilliant tackle from Mead. And he can try to make an attempt. So Mead doesn't send Port inside 50. He goes wide to Burton. And I'm not sure he's got this kick in him. Maybe. Just going to fall short.
Inside the final 2 minutes of the second term. Port searching for one against the flow. Burton kicks it to full forward. The whole field seems there. Radaglia flew. Spoils are made. Poke underneath. Found the lane. Hand passed it off to Rozee. Slipped the tackle. Got it to his boot. And it's the captain who lands the blow. Crafty stuff from Connor Rozee. It puts an end to a run of 5 goals. And it reduces the deficit to 20 points.
And the Cats might be down a ruck.
Well, he's sore, isn't he? Slowly get to his feet. Big contest, as you called, Jared. You said every player felt like they were in that vicinity. Stanley just getting up slowly. Looks as though he may be okay. We're just seeing an issue. But, I mean, it was brilliant from Connor Rozee. Ball came to the ground. He was able... He's the one you want. Not Ollie Wines when they're in the phone box, but he was just able to shimmy, give himself a little bit of room and shape it on the right boot.
You've got to wait for Stanley to get in the middle of the ruck.
Yeah, he's slow, but the good news is he's okay. I mean, it's a big last minute. We know what Geelong have done in response to Port Adelaide. Any semblance of momentum, they've gone back and scored. So, I mean, the scoring is still alive in this quarter. Port Adelaide must keep it to this margin or less as they go in for the long break.
High-scoring final. So Stanley wins the ruck after being injured. Great contest. Horn Francis and Dangerfield side-by-side clashed. And we'll get a ball up again in the middle of the ground. 1 minute left in the half.
So just with the hit-outs, you're right. 32-10 hit-outs, Sweet's way, but Geelong are winning the stoppage and scored 5 goals from stoppage.
Logan Evans hammers it towards Rioli. Can't get near it. Tackle late on Bowes again. Mead, that's hogging the ball again. No, it's not. I said he didn't have a chance to get rid of it. No prior. Ball up inside 50 for Port. He did drop it.
She goes, Sweet out the side. Horn Francis didn't quite gather. Rioli off the ground, cut off by Holmes. Got it to Myers. Clears the area with a high ball on the way out. Dangerfield committed himself. Stengel. They ran into each other. Zirk Thatcher turns, tossed it inside 50. Cut off. Good intercept mark. Mullen on the spot. So to the near side, take the territory and the time. A 2-on-2 contest on the wing. Zirk Thatcher brought it to ground. Won though by Manor. Got it to his boot. Just probed forward. Sat well for Bruin. The Cats are on the clock. They'll kick it up for Cameron. Alier made early contact, cleared the way and took the intercept mark. And that should be the way that it closes a 33-minute second term. Geelong lead it by 20 points. 9-9-63 to Port Adelaide 6-7-43. Cats kicked 6 goal to 3 in that term. Goal kickers Stengel with 3, Cameron with 2, singles to Manor, Bowes, Myers and Henry. They're all singles for Port. Rosie, Burton, Rioli, Horn Francis, Georgiades and McAtee. Just before we get to the full summary, can you give us the power play rankings for Red Energy? Switch to Red Energy.
Yeah, for me, if we look at Geelong, Max Holmes has been the most damaging player on the ground. He is easily leading the ranking points by about 17. He's had 16 disposals, 3 clearances, 4 inside 50s and a game high 6 score involvements.
Full thoughts coming up with Kane Corns for MEGT, Australia's apprenticeship experts. The second qualifying final, it's the Cats by 20 points. AFL Nation for 4 and 20 pies out for Tyre Power Big Footy Final Sale.
That quarter on AFL Nation was for Elders, your reliable partner in rural and regional Australia.
OMF. Get 100% comfy at OMF with the buy 2 get 55% off sale. Buy any 2 items and get 55% off selected mattresses, like the Aussie-made Byron mattress, now under $1,200, or the Urban mattress, now under $1,700. Plus, get up to 20% off selected bedroom furniture. Get comfy for less with the buy 2 get 55% off sale. Ends Sunday at OMF, the home of mattress, bedroom and bedding.
At Amy, we know when our game has its moments, like when you're playing in Whoop Whoop. The only park left is behind the goal square. You get heat rub in your eye. When your banner has a typo, the scoreboard doesn't add up. You lose a boot, and the match winner misses everything except your windshield. It's lucky you're with Amy. Before buying comprehensive car insurance issued by Amy, read the PDS and TMD at amy.com.au and consider whether it's right for you.
Lucky you're with Amy.
Convenience is the key when it comes to Melbourne Airport's terminal parking. Located directly opposite Terminals 1, 2, 3 and at Terminal 4, you'll be at the check-in counter in no time. With just a few minutes walk to the terminals. Plus, getting in and out is easy. Online bookings include a convenient QR code for smoother entry and exit. Just scan it at the gate and you're ready to go. Park with ease at Melbourne Airport. Book online for the best rates at melbourneairport.com.au.
Experience the power of Milwaukee's M18 outdoor power equipment. From From blowers, trimmers to lawnmowers and chainsaws, Milwaukee's outdoor power equipment meets the performance and durability needs of landscape professionals. With over 250 solutions on the one battery platform, take your battery off-site today and power a world of outdoor solutions. Explore the outdoor power equipment range at milwaukeetool.com.au. Milwaukee, nothing but heavy duty.
Hi, it's Shelley Craft. For locally made gift ideas that shine like green and gold, check out Australian Made's top Aussie products, the go-to resource to find the very best Aussie-made goodies. From handcrafted homewares and accessories to innovative Aussie inventions, you'll find a top Aussie product for every occasion. Each one carries the trusted green and gold kangaroo logo, so you can be sure it's genuinely Aussie. Hop to australianmade.com.au/top Aussie and support local while you shop.
Step up to the next generation of professional power tools with Makita XGT 40 volt and 80 volt max. Experience premium professional power with cordless convenience that's setting new benchmarks in performance and efficiency. Makita's XGT offers limitless professional power, reliability and runtime. XGT simply outpowers, outsmarts and outlasts the rest. When power means business, choose Makita XGT. It's power without limits.
I want my Makita back. Get your hot 425. Go get it, Tommy. Yes, get it. Go. No. How could you do that, you absolute genius? I don't believe it. He's going to do it. He's going to blow it for everyone. You useless son of a gun. What a gun. Yes. No. Yes. No. Yes.
Being a fan is hungry work. 4 and 20. Australia's original fan food.
The NBL is what dreams are made of. Greatness is within reach. No limits, only endless possibilities.
Chris Goulding is the face of Melbourne United. A 3-time NBL champion, CG43 is a club fan favourite who broke records last season for three-pointers in the 40-minute era. The big question is, who will be able to stop him at the three-point line this season?
Watch live on ESPN, available via KO and Foxtel, and Sundays via 10 and 10 Play. NBL, we dream big.
You're listening to AFL Nation for Tyre Power. Big footy final sale now on. And 4 and 20 pies. 4 and 20 pies, Australia's original fan food.
Is the wing and a third for Holmes. He'll kick Geelong up to full forward. What have they got? Ollie Henry reached up. Stengel at the back. Another off the ground. Ruthless from the centre bounce by the Cats. Stengel with his second. Aliir made the spoil or dropped the mark really in the end. Bergman dispossessed. Bowes found a way through onto his boot. He floated it through for a goal. Jack Bowes finds a way. And in a pressure-packed environment, he got a cheapie there. Cats reclaim the lead. Worked it forward to Cameron, linked it up to Atkins, and on to Manna. Has a look from half forward, sends it deep. Stengel! Goal! His third.
Bowes launches over the heads of a couple. Aliir's down there, Dangerfield's had a couple of good moments. Jeremy Cameron, a fumble, a collect, a roller, a goaler! Oh my goodness! Chesser at his absolute best, and he's got 2 rippers.
Macca's, I'm loving it moments. The Monopoly game at Macca's is back.
Geelong by 20 points at Adelaide Oval, 9-9-63 to Port Adelaide, 6-7-43. It's time for the Choices Flooring Halftime Floor Show.
The Choices Flooring Halftime Floor Show. Breeze, Gennaro and Plantino. Stylish, healthy flooring for spring.
Categories to come with Kane Corns, but give us your overall thoughts, Kane, for MEGT. Let MEGT help you build a winning team.
Yeah, well, it nearly should be over if it wasn't for Geelong's inaccuracy. They've kicked 0 goals, 5 from set shots, but conversely, they've kicked 6 straight from snaps. Now, a few of those snaps, Jeremy Cameron's been unbelievable with his 2 goals, but a few of those probably counted as walk-in goals. Just defensively, Port Adelaide are allowing far too great a score at half-time to have Geelong on 63. In recent times, since round 17, Port Adelaide have conceded 60, 54, 96, 75, 65, 36, 51, 58, 67. So they haven't conceded more than 70 points since round 21. They've already given up 63 tonight. Every time the ball's gone inside forward 50 for Geelong, they've looked dangerous, particularly when the ball's got on the ground. and all they had to do was break even at stoppage, which is exactly what they've done tonight. So clearances put Adelaide lead by 1, but Geelong are actually outscoring Port from that source. They've kicked 27 points to 19 from stoppages, and as you picked up during the call, they've been pretty smart because Port Adelaide dominating hit-outs, but Geelong dominating around the damage that they've done from those hit-outs. So Sweet often has gone long with his hit-outs into space. But that's what Geelong want. They're actually quite good at the post-clearance stuff, the ground ball, the scramble, and they've completely exploited Port Adelaide in that facet of the game. And then they've had some control and maturity about their performance, which has been really impressive. So they've set it up with a really solid first half, exactly how they would want the game to be played. We'll see if Port Adelaide are willing to dig in and try and fight and scrap and get this game back on their terms, or whether Geelong just run away with an easy 6 or 7 goal win in the second half.
Give us the best for each side in the power play rankings for Red Energy for 100% Australian electricity and gas.
Yeah, I mean, Geelong have had some good players. Pretty even performance, to be fair. All their forwards feel like they're going to chip in and play a role, but Holmes, to me, has been the most damaging. 485 metres gained, Holmes, and he's played with a real healthy arrogance about him that you can't tackle me, you can't catch me, run and carry, good luck. So his speed's been a factor. 16, he's kicked it at 89% when clearly skill errors have been an issue for both sides tonight. 6 score involvements, 4 inside 50s, getting his footy in dangerous positions. And Horn Francis is still Port Adelaide's highest ranked player, despite the fact he spent a lot of time on the bench, has started both quarters on the bench and has spent some time forward. So just the 8 touches, but he's kicked the goal, high metres gained, 3 tackles, and 4 of his 8 touches have led to scores. So he has looked the most likely player for Port.
Unmissable moments for Drinkwise. You won't miss a moment if you drink wise.
Step up Jezza for the first goal that he kicked in the first quarter. It's as good a finals goal as you will see, and then the second one was pretty good as well. So he looks dangerous, really dangerous. He's got Aliir for company, and Aliyah's a good player. I'm not sure that matchup is the right one. I would have gone with Zerk Thatcher.
Choose to drink wise. Crucial moment for New Farm, Australian through and through.
Well, the first centre bounce of the second term, just when I thought Port Adelaide would have gone in, I think they were down by 3 points at quarter time, and the game was back on their terms after a slow start. Sweet wins the hit out, but it was Holmes that ran away from Butters to set up a Stengel goal inside 30-40 seconds to start the second quarter. And it was a bit of a statement that we're here to play, and they've been really consistent with their effort and their method tonight.
Who's making it look easy? Kick off your next painting project with Monarch Painting Made Easy, available at Bunnings Warehouse.
Well, Tyson Stengel is the most dangerous forward on the ground. 3 goals. He's got Lockie Jones as the matchup. That was a matchup I didn't like. No Farrell, no Houston, and Port Adelaide have had to have a bit of a makeshift defence, including Darcy Byrne-Jones going back, but Stengel looks like he could be in for a big night. He may kick 6 or 7 the way he's going.
Well, it's a clanger for Amy. When clangers happen, it's lucky you're with Amy.
Clangers, there's been a few. I mean, probably Geelong's goal kicking would be the clanger. I mean, it's harsh, but who would have thought you'd turn up and kick 0 goals 6, in fact, from set shots. It's a bit of a clanger for them because game could be over. I still think it's heading one way, but yeah, you would have expected some of those shots to at least have gone through.
Lucky you're with Amy. Best defender for Tridectin, 3-way Moxidectin Sheepdrench.
Well, actually, I think Port Adelaide's defenders in the air have been pretty good. So Bergman and Burton have taken 3 intercept marks each. When the ball's been in the air, Aliir and Zerk Thatcher have competed pretty well. It's been when it's been on the ground, but I like Miles Bergman. I think he's a really solid player. 3 intercept marks. He's had 8. He's kicking it at 100% and defensively very sound.
So who's your player of the first half for TR Group Commercial Truck and Trailer Rentals and Lease?
Yeah, it'd be Holmes or Stengel for me, but I'd go with Max Holmes for what he's been able to do. He's their most... Now that Dangerfield is a bit older, he's still doing his thing. Dangerfield's been good, don't get me wrong. 12 touches, 4 clearances. He's been ferocious at ground level, 5 score involvements. So him and Holmes are their best midfielders, and they've played like it tonight.
Injury update for Nutrien Water, your destination for all things water. So they're all clear at the moment. Holmes had a little bit of time off in that second term with his boot off, and Stanley got a bit of a heavy knock but returned to the ruck and was seemingly fine. Our finals presenting partner is Caveat Loans. Dan Isaac at caveatloans.finance. Common sense lending without the red tape. caveatloans.finance. It's the Cats by 20 points over Port Adelaide. We'll ponder what needs to change for the home team next. That's been the Choices Flooring halftime floor show Choices Flooring, stylish and healthy.
You're listening to AFL Nation for Tyre Power. Big footy final sale now on. And 4 and 20 pies. 4 and 20 pies, Australia's original fan food.
The Workside Portaloo. Okay. What better place to head to bizcover.com.au and check out all the ways you could be saving money on your business insurance.
Electrician.
Like your public liability. Because only BizCover lets you compare, save, and get instant cover online, on the go, in minutes.
I can save $400. Oh, woohoo!
You alright, Brad? Check how much a tradie like you could save on your business insurance. For on-the-go cover,
go BizCover.
Flat footy moments to avoid this season.
The second half.
At a barbie, here's Jackson and his mates checking the stats for a multi. No! His battery goes flat. He can't get live updates.
Stay charged with a Signet Power Bank. Compact and lightweight, it fits in your pocket, and you'll never go flat or miss any part of the game. Signet Power Banks, available at signet.com, as well as in-store at JB Hi-Fi and other leading retailers.
Winning season news update.
Just in, there's a 1 in 4 chance to win in the Monopoly game at Macca's with prizes like $10,000 Amazon.com.au gift cards and a year's worth of DoorDash. Download the My Macca's app and play today.
Ends October 22. For full terms, visit mcdonalds.com.au.
We know you might go to some of the big brands of the mattress world too. That's fair enough. But all we're suggesting is check out the OMF signature range as well. Or even OMF's best value bed-in box mattresses. Come and have a lie down. Simply see how you feel. And then look at the price. You might just agree that at OMF, we'll make you 100% comfy.
OMF. As a roofer, plumber or builder, time is money. So getting your roofing, cladding and flashing supplies reliably delivered to your site on time is paramount. At Design Sheet Metal, simply order your roofing materials by 4:30 p.m. for delivery on site next business day. Visit designsm.com.au to place your order today or visit their Laverton or Bayswater showroom. Operating 24 hours, 5 days a week. Design Sheet Metal. In spec, on time, every time. That's designsm.com.au.
There's nothing more Australian than standing by our veterans who've given their all for us. And at the Soldier's Cut, we're proud to supply top quality, free-range, grass-fed meat trays to RSL community and sporting clubs right across Sydney. Through our partnership with Wounded Heroes, we're giving back. And with your support, a portion of every tray sold helps veterans and their families. Join us in serving up the freshest, finest meats while making a real difference. Visit thesoldierscut.com.au where quality meets purpose.
Before we run out on the field, our skipper knows exactly what to say to get our heads in the game. But when it comes to preparing our muscles for performance, we can always count on Deep Heat to have our backs. Nothing beats the iconic smell of the locker room and that winning feeling you get after a Deep Heat massage. Fast, targeted pain relief from an iconic brand you know and trust. Deep Heat. Feel it work. Always read the label and follow the directions for use.
Experience the power of Milwaukee's M18 outdoor power equipment. From blowers, trimmers to lawnmowers and chainsaws, Milwaukee's outdoor power equipment meets the performance and durability needs of landscape professionals. With over 250 solutions on the one battery platform, take your battery off-site today and power a world of outdoor solutions. Explore the outdoor power equipment range at milwaukeetool.com.au. Milwaukee, nothing but heavy duty.
Monarch makes painting easy because the wrong tools are frustrating. Rollers giving poor patchy finishes. And finding loose brush hairs everywhere. Oh, don't settle for subpar results. Achieve the perfect finish with ease. Monarch. Painting made easy. Available at Bunnings Warehouse.
You're listening to AFL Nation for Tyre Power. Big footy final sale now on. And 4 and 20 pies. 4 and 20 pies, Australia's original fan food.
Players returning to the field for the second half at Adelaide Oval. AFL Nation is for 4 and 20 pies, and for Tyre Power Big Footy Finals sale, it's Geelong by 20 points. Dwayne Russell, Kane Corns, what needs to change from a Port perspective?
Well, you've got to get your prime movers going, particularly from stoppage. I mean, it's amazing to think how they've been nullified from stoppage, Port Adelaide. So full credit to Geelong. When it's been a stoppage in general play, the half forwards have come up, in particular Myers, who's been really important just with that protection at the stoppage and crowding it. But they've got to get Butters going. When he has had the footy, he's made some really nice decisions and looks a class above. But just 8 touches in a final for Zach Butters is just not going to cut it. There's no direct tag on him. So it can't be left to Horn Francis through the midfield. They've got to get all of them going. Wines hasn't been influential. He's had 11 touches, but not in the form that he's been in the last month, the Brownlow medalist. Willem Drew's had enough of the footy and 5 clearances, but he's not your Rolls Royce. Got to get Butters, Rosie, Horn Francis all involved and impact this second half. Otherwise, it's going to be another ugly night in a final for Ken Hinkley and Port Adelaide. But Geelong, full credit to that first half. That was some scintillating football. And they've got the game exactly where they would like it at half-time.
You had Daniel Hoyne on the show talking about Zach Butters' last final as well this week. He needs to pull a good final out of the bag, and a good second half here are doing some favours.
Yeah, I wonder if they've just been a bit too cute with trying to manipulate who's in there and who's not. Like Horn Francis starts on the bench, then he comes. Why don't you just play all 3? Just start this second half. Go Rosie, Butters, Horn Francis. You're our 3 highest paid midfielders. You go and get it done. And then if it doesn't work, then you go Wines, Drew, Mead. They don't start that way. So I just think that...
That wasn't quite a boo of the coach, but it was certainly a criticism of it.
It's been an observation that I've made throughout the year. And I get the reason behind it, because you bring Horn Francis on when he's fresh.
You've got to start him.
Yeah, you have to now.
Start him at full forward.
So now you're 20 points down at half-time. Give the 3 of them 5 minutes and say, right, we need a clearance, we need a score from stoppage, and we need the game on our terms early, not halfway through the last quarter. We need it now. So we'll see. He started on the bench in the first to start the game, and also to start the second term. He's going to start on the ground now. It looks as though Zach Butters is going to start on the bench, though. So not the move I would have made.
Why would he do that?
I don't know. I think he's just, as I said, trying to have a fresh midfielder come on and to inject them. But I like the mix better. So I like Drew, Rosie and Horn Francis better than the mix that they've had tonight, which Geelong have been able to exploit. And you've got to maximise your hit-outs. Like we've spoken about that. 33 to 11, Jordan Sweet hit-outs. He's had 9 hit-outs to advantage to 2, yet Port Adelaide have been outscored by stoppage by 8.
So Geelong by 20 points to start this third term, brought to us by Host Plus. AFL Nation 4 and 20 pies from the Adelaide Oval. Cats 9-9. Port Adelaide 6-7. Big crowd, disappointed crowd so far. Sweet and Stanley in the middle for the opening ruck contest of the second half. Stanley and Sweet both get a touch on it. Drew gets the clearance, got it to half forward, bouncing ball. Bowes attacked it against the grain, got it to Atkins, fed it back to Blitzars, moves it wide. To Kolajasny, half-back flank, chip kick to Holmes. He dominated, absolutely, goes to Dangerfield. His second quarter was great as well. He heads long, Cameron's down there, doesn't take the big leap. Neil, the man who jumped, now he's got to get the crumb. He's tackled quickly by Bergman.
They're all the answers, don't they? So Port Adelaide do win the first centre bounce clearance, but they're able to mop it up, pass half-back, and then the Lockie Jones fumble, the pressure.
Did we just see Butters go to the back row then?
Wow.
Somebody's just checked that. Atkins at the stoppage, around to Cameron, and off to Mullen, who takes his shot and misses.
He's still in yellow.
Across the face of God. No, he's out.
Oh, yeah.
Zach Butters is out of the game. He's been subbed out. We'll wait to hear the injury news. So Mullen with the first score of the half. It's the Cats by 21 points on the Host Plus scoreboard.
So did he come in with anything? He had the sty in his eye, but that wouldn't be a reason to sub a guy out, surely.
No, he looked okay in the first half. There was no incident.
So from the kick in, Alir got there, good contest, got his crumb, and then kicked it straight to the waiting arms of Guthrie on the wing. Chips it wide. Jeremy Cameron comes up to take the mark on the outer wing. Cats playing a little bit of control footy now.
Well, that's a luxury when you've got this lead. That's why they did really well. They're a smart footy team.
Heads to Manor, who goes long. Ollie Henry's up, can't mark it. Aldersirk Thatcher beaten for it. Dempsey, pocket. He goes inside. Amazing to Bowes. Phenomenal composure by a man who is still pretty much a youngish player. He won the Rising Star. It is year 3 for Ollie Dempsey. So he's not a first-year player, but the composure there, not to blaze away. He went inside to Bose. He's got to kick a goal from the top of the square. And Geelong will get their first goal from a set shot
Ball
for the
on
night.
The outside again. Once it's got on the outside, devastating.
So this will send some more alarm bells ringing. He's got 2. And the Cats have a 26-point lead on the Host Plus scoreboard. Host Plus being named Money Magazine's best super fund for 2024. That's a plus issued by Host Plus Proprietary Limited. Check the PDS and the TMD at hostplus.com.au. Danger.
Yeah, it really is danger. Just looking at Port Adelaide's social media feed, no update on why Zach Butters has been subbed out yet, and Champion Data still haven't even picked it up. But we question why he would start on the bench in the second term. But, I mean, you just hope Port Adelaide don't turn their toes up here. You hope this isn't a bigger story, because it has all the hallmarks of a 10-goal loss right now, with the lack of urgency, which is unexcusable. So this will be a big story at the Adelaide Oval if Port Adelaide cannot get themselves back into this game of footy.
Kane Corns for MEGT, Australia's apprenticeship experts. Cats by 27. Stanley wins the tap. Rosie, though, comes the other way and pumps Port up to full forward. Blitzarves has got it well covered.
He just fell over, Dixon. Hasn't had an influence, hasn't been able to compete, just one touch. And Blitzarves has gone everywhere with him, followed him into the ruck and beaten him soundly tonight. Had to be better, had to hold his feet, provide a contest.
So Dixon is now committed to play the entire game, with the sub having to be used for injury. Off to Holmes, who brought it long down the wing and cleared the pack. Stengel hunts and pinches the ball from Jones, gives it to Dangerfield, kicks it beautifully inside the 50, and the mark is taken by Ollie Henry.
When I said Port Adelaide, you hope they don't turn their toes up. That's an example of turning your toes up. One-on-one contest. Don't tell me Lockie Jones doesn't have the strength and the size against Stengel. Stengel just makes him look foolish, brushes him off, wins a contested footy, and then they're away. I mean, there's nothing Bergman could do about that when you allow Tyson Stengel to win a ground ball, get the overlap to Dangerfield.
Tough shot from the boundary over on the right, 45 metres out. Ollie Henry with his drop punt, it drifts across the face of goal, and Jones is there to punch it into the behind post for a throw in. So no score. Ken Hinkley said on Channel 7 at half-time, Butters is a bit sore, so we might have to make a decision early in the second half. See how he goes. First 5 or 6 minutes, he never made it down onto the ground. He retreated to the back row.
So ball back into play, and Manor kicks around the body, and he slots a phenomenal goal. And he is a phenomenal story. Mature age recruit, and he's become a weapon. And Geelong 11-10, 76, Port Adelaide 6-7, 43. This is getting nasty.
Really nasty. Dwayne, let's pick up how this happened, but forward stoppage goal, as I said, the alarm bells, the warning signs were there off Darcy Byrne-Jones, who was just ball watching, of course, hasn't played this role for a while, and he's probably thinking, I got Manor. Like, he's not Stengel, he's probably not going to cause me much grief, but he does. It makes you look stupid, because Darcy Byrne-Jones gave him half a metre at that forward stoppage. Half a metre's not going to cut it in a cutthroat qualifying final on your home deck when you are absolutely under the pump. So half a metre of space is all he needed. Really smart finish. What a performance from Chris Scott and Geelong, who have come to Adelaide on an absolute mission, and the fallout here is looking nasty.
Crucial moment for New Farm, Australian through and through. Bounce outside the circles. So the Cats scores from stoppages, Kane. Yeah. They've got it from centre bounces. They've got it from forward 50 stoppage.
Yeah, I mean, it's frightening. So it says 5 here, but that hasn't updated because that goal was their 6th.
Port won the clearance in the middle, but drew through it. Rosie took a long time to release the footy. Umpire gave him a lot of latitude. Bruin with the resulting free kick. Took off and he delivers long to half forward. Pack forms. Ollie Henry knocked it on. Dempsey did the same. Stengel against the boundary. Pounces. Has a go himself. He missed near side.
Oh, look at this, Jared. 23 touches to 4 to start this third term. 23 touches to 4. Inside 50s, 4-1. 2 goals, 1 to no score. Port Adelaide cannot get their hands on the footy. They have touched the football 4 times in this quarter.
So half-time hasn't helped. Speech didn't help. Burton heads long. Ollie Dempsey jumps. Can't make contact second time. Burgoyne kicks it off the deck. Got it to Georgiades. He's 80 from goal. He's within range. He goes to the short pass to Charlie, who's moving on the Oriana out there. Bixars will get there, knock it to the boundary and take it out.
It's just a dumb kick as well. Like, Georgiani's had an open goal square. He could have easily wound up and had a go to the open goal square, trying to pinpoint Charlie Dixon on a lead where he needs to change direction. It's having no feel for your teammate, unfortunately. If you're the Western Bulldogs and you're Hawthorn, you're watching this game going, Port Adelaide are vulnerable. What an opportunity it is if you win that game tomorrow night.
Port inside 50. Drew rows the tap, takes his swing at goal. It curls, it hooks, it comes up a yard short. Humphreys sees it through for a rush behind. Margin is 33. It's a rib injury for Zach Butters. So he's down out of the game for Spitwater. High pressure washers, made tough and ready in Australia.
So that's a worry for next week if it's a rib. And you think Dixon won't hold his place next week and Marshall will come back in. Port Adelaide still have an eternity left to play their way back in. Rioli, little knock on, ball at centre half forward for Port. Jones, Lachlan Jones lays a tackle. There's still a quarter and 15 minutes left. So
they just can't get their hands on their foot on the footy, Dwayne.
Sweet, Stanley knocks it down. Burn-Jones pounces. Got it, gave it to Horne-Francis. Stripped of it by Bruin. He'll win in low. Rosie with him, and we'll get another ball up middle of the ground. And this crowd got some spare seats already, is there?
Might be some boos shortly if we know this crowd.
Bruin leapt up for the ball in the middle, couldn't do much with it. Ball it up. Still inside the centre square. Ruckman grapple. Manner to the side, taken to ground by Rosie. So in close confines just for the moment.
When you look just what changes can you make, but I mean, you're a bit hamstrung, handcuffed, if you like, when you can't get your hands on the footy. We've got another free kick. It's going to go Geelong's way.
Some holding on at the stoppage. Atkins ball. Manner's going to run past and receive. The first final AFL level he's having. Manner kicks it up to half forwards. Another free kick. Ollie Henry just impeded. 55 from goal. He dabs it into the pocket and Neil takes the mark.
Running right. Free kick from stoppage, free kick in the marking contest, then you're all offside and you get the easy run in behind to the mark inside forward 50. Ball use has been terrific. Really smart the way that they've able to combine as forwards. Haven't got in each other's way. They've all had their turn. They've been unselfish and everyone's having their moment. So be hard to change the mix of this forward line, even with Tom Hawkins available and fit.
The only flaw has been this kicking. So tough shot again, and Shannon Neal adds to the behinds. 11-12-78. He kicks his second. The margin is 34 points on the host plus scoreboard.
10 marks to 2 inside forward 50 for Hijaz Halal Financial Services.
Begin to Willem Drew, probably deserved a free for mine, but Duncan was legal in the spoil. So ball in, half forward for the Cats, who won't put the cue in the rack in the last quarter because they've got a week off next week by winning this.
Horne-Francis getting angry as well off the footy. Atkins giving him a lot of attention.
Yeah, well, if they're not going to be with Butters, they don't want to lose Horne-Francis with any suspension. He's caught, got a Campbell away, got it just in time to Burton. His handball not really effective at all. Jeremy Cameron, who's already kicked a couple of rippers, kicks across the face of goal. Dempsey down there, Stengel down there, Zerk Thatcher for Port. Wobbles it away, gets it to the sub, who couldn't really make something of it, and Bruin can't do something with it as well. So Narkle is on, and he had his first chance out at the X-Cat. Now Bruin can ram home this advantage.
Just living it. I mean, their pressure. I mean, we talked about Port Adelaide's pressure coming into this game, but what about the pressure that Geelong forwards have put on? The hurried kicks, scrambled kicks, unable to find an uncontested mark and alleviate some of the pressure in your defensive 50. And the ball's just lived in their forward half. I don't have the time in forward half stat in front of me, but this quarter it would be 90% to 10.
If it's a goal, it might send a few to an early train. It is a goal. The Cats have 12. And they are stalking a massive number right now.
That's send a few to an early grave.
Right. 12-84. Cheltenham's on the way home. 6-8-44 maybe to go and sit by mum or grandma at the Cheltenham Cemetery and say, hey, this Port Adelaide team, grandma, it's not much better than the one you saw 8 years ago.
Yeah, it's a big story, isn't it? I mean, there's two sides to this. The Geelong performance right from the opening bounce has just been as good as we've seen from any team on a mission, hostile environment. But the week off that they've had to prepare, the extra time to plan, to get their matchups right, to get their ball movement right, to get their midfield mix in the right order, and then to pick a forward line that is just so damaging. I mean, they've all had their chance. They've kicked 6 goals, 6 from Port Adelaide turnovers tonight. Dixon's into the ruck. I mean, he's got to provide something. Might be his last game at AFL level.
TAC, stop kidding yourself. If you drink, don't drive. Ball to be won in the middle. It was won well by Wine. Shot the hand pass out to Rosie. Kicks Port the full forward. 3-on-3. Terrific intercept mark taken by Kolajasny.
How can you mark that when you've got Radigalia and you've got Georgiades deep ball 50-50 and he's marked it?
And not a bad image that it left Radigalia and Georgiades flat on the ground as he took the mark. Came out to Blitzarves.
Should have been 50 against Mead, who took Blitzarves to ground well after he'd taken the mark.
Chris Scott shared that view with the Canes. We've got the replay screen for Bunnings Traders here to help. Blitzarves kicks down the wing. Bergman had the bite at the intercept mark. He dropped it. Ollie Henry tackled him, but he didn't stick the tackle. Turnover comes, though. Hand pass to Manor. Delivers it forwards. No, that won't quite work as it skips away and bounces out of play. 55 around from the Geelong goal.
It's a hard position when you earn the double chance, but you put in a performance like this. How do you handle the media after this game? Zach Butters, the injury. You wouldn't think he's going to get up next week, and you're going to come up. Whoever wins is going to start red-hot favourites, you would think, out of the Dogs and Hawthorn with their game. So just a real another challenge for Ken Hinkley and his men, unless they can fight to the end and get back in this game.
Bruin did well, great smother, and then a smother straight back the other way by Drew on Dangerfield, gets the ball out of play. And again, there's a lot of time left. There's a quarter and a half. There's a quarter and 11 minutes. If Port Adelaide were good enough. How many goals in a row did they kick on Geelong at GMHBA Stadium early this year?
It's been 8, but it doesn't look like that at the moment.
They need 8 goals in a row here. Burgoyne gets on the end of it, gave it to Wines, little trickler, got it to Mead, half-back flank against the grain, back to Wines, back to Mead, didn't work. And nothing really has worked for Port Adelaide all night. Wide chip kick to Duncan is good.
There's just no method from Wines. Once you go that side, you've got to keep going that side.
Duncan rifles it up inside the 50 and Bowes stands to take the mark. It is a bit startling how quickly the resistance dropped. And then the more you try to invent something that doesn't come off, the more dispiriting it all becomes.
Yeah, and you could sense that, just the way that Geelong had the game on their terms. That Port Adelaide had brief moments where it looked like their game, but that there from Ollie Wines is rubbish in a final to cough that footy up, which has led to this score.
Jack Bowes long-range set shot. It's narrow, and it'll miss by a big margin. It misses the lot, in fact, and it stays 40-point margin on the Host Plus scoreboard. Host Plus has been named Money Magazine's Best Super Fund of 2024. That's surpassed issued by Host Plus Pty Limited. Check the PDS and TMD at hostplus.com.au.
Yeah, the Port fans have seen this movie too many times. That's the problem as well. And the Cats fans seen this a bit. Come finals, Cats have the goods. Narkle. Got a little trickling kick, bounced a couple of ways. Duncan slapped it down, got it to Humphries, hammered it towards Bruin. Can't take possession against the grain. Narkle fights hard, wrapped up quickly, came to Burne-Jones. He flicked the handball out, hoping for Burgoyne to go and get it. Did get it, half-back flank, back to Burne-Jones, back towards the wing. Kolajasny there, 3 to beat. Jack Henry beats them all. Didn't take the mark. Umpire said play on. Zach Guthrie hands it to Myers, turned inside, went back to Zach. He got a handball up just in time. Attack from Logan Evans, couldn't do something with it decisively. Neither can Georgiades.
And even if they did win that, Jeremy Cameron's just gone, okay, I've seen enough. I'm just going to go and roam around as I please, and he does that so well. So if Port Adelaide had won that footy, Cameron was behind the ball by himself. Now he comes up to stoppage.
Is that his call, you reckon?
Yeah, I reckon it is. He can just start playing some games, and he's smart enough to manage this. He's done this all year, and he can just dictate where he thinks he's most needed.
Narkle with a secondary knock, only as far as Humphries. He shot the hand pass up near Bruin Wall, some heavy contacts. Manor sticks the tackle and drags Rosie out of play. We've just crossed the halfway mark of this third term on the Makita XGT 40 VMAX clock.
Just look at their depth, Port Adelaide. Narkle the sub, Dixon's not touched it. Evans 3, McEntee 4, Mead 5, Radigalia 5. Just there hasn't been enough there tonight, and as we get a secondary stoppage, their stars haven't turned up either. Wines has been poor. haven't had enough from Rosie. Horn Francis has had his moments, but just one touch in this third term.
Up she goes. Blitzavs almost pulled it down. Just lost it at the last. Drew tackles him. Oh, took him to ground. That's dangerous tackle. Really clear. Drew, that'll want to look okay on the replay. Blitzavs is unharmed, so that's the good part. Off to Duncan. Kick to full forward. Dempsey right onto his chest. They opened a big hole, and the rising star led into it.
How does that happen? Right, held up ball. Lockie Jones far too worried about close. Went to find body on him where he just had to come off and do the team thing and stand in a hole. So Dempsey drifting down off the wing. So athletic. Too athletic for Travis Boakey's direct matchup as we get another look at that Willem Drew dangerous tackle. I think he might be okay. It's actually his hand that hits the ground first, not his head. And I think he's tried to make that look worse than it was.
Ollie Dempsey sliced his kick. And so it's only the set shot kicking which worsens for the Cats, which has prevented this blowing further than 41 points on the Host Plus scoreboard.
2-8 from set shots for Hijaz Halal Financial Services for Geelong tonight.
Well, might as well go up the spine now, Port Adelaide. This deficit to overcome, and they do. Up the middle to Drew.
Comes down any of this. Been such a weapon for them. Their ball movement this year, their transition. They've used the corridor more than any other team, but it's been completely shut down tonight.
Yeah, so what do they do to try and spark this? Ball from Wines is overcooked, and Kolajasny takes the mark. So they've missed a lot of targets. Is that?
Well, that's the ball. That's the personnel, isn't it? When Farrell and Houston are not there, they're the ones you want the footy in the hands of, and that has stood out tonight.
Kolajasny towards half forward. Bergman's been good. There's been one that has stood up. His hands have been clean.
Yeah,
he's read it well.
4 intercept marks for Bergman.
Got it a half back now for Port Adelaide. He sends it in the Radaglia direction. Georgiades from 4 deep got there, couldn't mark it. Zach Guthrie right spot again. Floats it wide to Dangerfield, and the all-time great takes off. He marked and he kicks long, and Neil's in a good spot to take it. And this one you can pretty much put in the book. The Cats will get a week off and have a prelim. Neil will kick the goal from the top of the goal square. And it's getting uglier by the second for Port Adelaide. This is not just a loss, this is a spanking.
Yeah, it's a smashing, an absolute smashing. That was the concerns when they got it to 20 points at the main break, but there were early signs in this third term that Port Adelaide just weren't willing to dig in and give an effort, and this is the result that you get against a red-hot side here on a mission.
So Neil, who's kept Hawkins out of this team and might again next week or the week after, and he slots it, he jumps for joy. So you finished second on the ladder, did you, boys? We're better than you. 13-13, plays 6-8, and the Port fans are stunned.
Yeah, the Port fans might be about to walk out, and I don't think there'll be many that will turn up next week, which is the real concern for them. It's been a decimation really tonight, just the class, but once again, the ball goes in long to a marking contest for Port Adelaide. They've kicked that ball down the line centrally, which has meant that when Geelong have won it back, they've won it back in a really dangerous position. So I would have liked them to have been a bit safer with their ball movement to protect the scores against, but off turnover they score. But it just feels like every time there's been a contest at ground level, Geelong have been all over them. Far too tough, too hungry. Exactly what finals football are about. They've scored 7 goals directly from Port Adelaide turnovers. Their game is in really good order.
Cats more than double Port Adelaide's score. Stanley rows the tap and knocks it on to Atkins, who fed it out in front of Dangerfield. He'll link it up to Duncan. No, he just missed him with a high hand pass. Duncan still wins it, rips it away from Burgoyne, puts it back inboard to Close, delivers the Cats inside 50. Ollie Henry dropped the mark. Jeremy Cameron is there. He'll swing it at goal, but didn't quite get the hook he was after. Across the face and through from behind. Cats by 48, time on the third term. Salade seconds can be the difference between life and death, make a difference with
Well, it's a warning sign for the rest of the competition. This performance, it's probably going to be Sydney, GWS or Brisbane in a home prelim final at the MCG for Geelong.
Yeah, and just a quick reminder for those people who weren't with us earlier, Tom Stewart ain't playing. So this is the Cats without their best player, you could argue. Burgoyne about to pounce, can't.
Went to ground.
Hughes went and got it. Weaved his way past the couple, went to Dangerfield, caught, but got his arms free. Great core strength to Humphreys, chips it wide, and he finds Stengel on the boundary. They are messing with Port Adelaide right now. Spear pass to Ollie Henry, lace out, and they're hitting targets inside 50. You can't believe it, really. Tom Stewart out, so they don't have arguably their best player. And they come in here, and from second one, they were clean-handed, they were aggressive, they were confident, and they had Port Adelaide fumbling, indecisive.
Taking 15 marks to 3 inside 450.
Yeah. So Ollie Henry, another pickup from another club. It's come home for the Cats. He kicks it long and he misses, and they could be a lot further in front.
Could be 15 goals in front.
13 to 15 to 6-8. That's the host plus scoreboard, with the Makita XGT 40-volt max clock saying we've played 23 third.
Kick-in was a real driver. It found Alia, who spread it out to Burgoyne, and he pokes it up the wing to McEntee. McEntee will give it back to Burgoyne, running boundary side. Delivers up to the 50. Stanley was well placed. Radaglia made the spoil. Georgiades hand passed up in the air. Guthrie absorbed the tackle.
Just the 42 uncontested marks, completely shut down. Like, not uncommon to have 100 uncontested marks in a game. Home and away, 42, and that's been Port Adelaide's go this year. So finals have brought the ball onto the ground.
Oh, Myers won the kick out. Horne-Francis propelled himself, but Dangerfield just launched and made the spoil, spread-eagled the pack. Ball fell where Bowes kicked it to the boundary, out on the full.
Just wonder whether you need to protect Dangerfield for himself, Jared. The hamstring, all of that. You got Zach Tui there as a sub unused. With the game over, I'd be looking just to protect Dangerfield. Not sure they can win the premiership without him.
Alia into Zerk Thatcher, onto Logan Evans, switches right across half-back for Bergman.
Might be the first switch of the night, Port Adelaide have done. There's 1 or 2 switches, maybe.
They're going to undo it and bring it back. Alia, centre half-back. To the near side to try to spread the field. Zerk Thatcher, it has opened up Boone-Jones. Zerk Thatcher stepped around the oncoming manner, had a bounce, and takes the territory up the line instead, but it's a turnover. Because Narka was left underneath it for Stanley just to reach up over the top.
Just really not smart football. The long kick to contest tonight has not worked.
Well, certainly not to a Narkle-Stanley marking contest. That's never going to work. So short pass to Jack Henry. And just a quick reminder, even though Kane Corns wasn't completely sold, Tom Stewart out with
illness.
So not a hamstring necessarily.
So he's definitely playing.
Yeah, he'll be over both in 2 weeks.
Exactly. Stanley sends it from half back to half forward. Bergman's down there with Ollie Henry. And there'll be a free kick, and it's going against Neil. It's going to Zerk Thatcher.
Just their 4th free kick of the night for Port Adelaide. Low free kick count. Geelong have had 10.
Gets out wide. Narkle should get it and go. He's on the wing. He gets it. And now he goes. He thumps it along. Horne-Francis playing out a full forward. Good one-on-one. Up they fly. Couldn't mark it. Hits the deck. Guthrie content to see it out in front of Rioli. 93 to 44. And the Cats are in control. 25 minutes gone. Third term brought to us by Host Plus.
.30 out from Port Adelaide's goal. Sweet wins the tap. Horne-Francis on his head ripped off by Stanley. So go back and take a shot at goal.
Yeah, he's dangerous in that position. I think he's really tried tonight. Hasn't had a heap, or hasn't had enough of the footy in the third term when the game was on the line, but that's reflective of the side. So just coming up for disposal, number 10, aiming for his second goal. Spent a lot of time on the bench early and then went forward. Looked as though he was going to single-handedly get them back into the game, but his moments have been good, but few and far between.
Jason Horne-Francis kicking for his second. He crosses the 50 and he lets fly. It's out to the left and misses. 48-point margin as we close in on three-quarter time. AFL Nation 4 and 20 pies, Tyre Power, Big Footy Final Sunday.
Holmes runs, has a couple of bounces. He takes on Francis Evans, almost runs to the wing. He got more chance of outrunning Sherlock Holmes. That was amazing from fullback, and don't you love it when they take it on?
Well, because now the ball's on centre wing, Dwayne. Now the ball is on maybe that's something that they should keep in their trick bag to do that. Because not many are going to catch him. If you just relax on the mark, you get the ball in front of centre with no risk.
away to the wing now for the ball in. Rosie to Drew.
Coughed it up.
Yeah, it was a bounce handball. Narkle can't handle it. Guthrie, clean-handed. Got it to Manor, clean-handed. Runs the wing, chips it, and gets it to Dempsey. But it might be out of play on the floor. It is. Dempsey has to
clean
give it up.
have they been at ground level?
Yeah.
So clean. Their ground ball wins plus 10 been so good.
Need the restart to Burton, who's going to switch to the near side for Bergman. He delivers to half forward, running into space, taking the mark. Here's McEntee. He's missed Francis Evans by a mile. Kicked it straight over his head to Kolajasny. So this is unravelled for Port Adelaide. Kick comes up the line. Cameron was the sacrificial lamb to let it get to Stengel. He wants to give it back to Cameron. Umpire saying you can't take the advantage back. You can't undo time. All those Superman had different ideas about that.
Yeah, they made them look like a bottom four side. The miss there, McEntee to Evans, Lockie Jones getting in the back of his opponent, completely misreading it.
Up to Bowes, inside 50. Ollie Henry had it knocked away. Alear underneath, just didn't do anything to get rid of it. Ollie Henry won it back up into the pocket, sliding in but not marking Liz Dangerfield. Thrown in next to the behind post.
Protect him by sending him forward, but he can't protect himself, Dangerfield. I just take that decision out of his hands. I know you may be worried a little bit about conditioning, but he can condition himself at training. I don't know, he'd be the one I'd be giving the sub-vest to and getting Zach Tui on the ground.
Give him some game time anyway, Zach Tui, given that they've got a week off next week. So Rosie took too long ball. Free kick, Cats. And they're going to add to the woe here with the 14th goal from about 20 metres out. And Manor was kicking for his third.
Oh, it's a good story. They just find them. They just find them somehow.
Under rocks, just locally.
Nobody else would trust him. No one else would give him a go.
And you look at some of the Port Adelaide players running around tonight. Yeah. This guy would be in their top 15 players at Port.
Yeah. Quite fine on an old Porsche in Grandfather's Bar. Phenomenal. Manor's got 3, and he's got a spot locked in for a prelim final. 6-9-45, Port Adelaide. To the Cats, 14-15-99. And as you look around the Adelaide Oval, there are more and more empty seats. The more time elapses. 18 seconds left, three-quarter time on the Host Plus scoreboard. AFL Nation for 4 and 20 pies. 29
scoring shots from 44 entries. Like, they only had 3 more entries, Geelong. And they're leading by 50. They've had 3 more entries, they're leading by 54 points. Like, can you wrap your head around that? I can't. This is a final. This is a final where it's supposed to be low scoring. It's supposed to be tight. You're at home. It's a disastrous performance. The fallout will be significant. It's reminiscent of the Brisbane game that they lost by 79 and the fans booed Ken Hinkley, but this time it's in a final.
5-6-2 behinds in this term. Stanley out the front, got it off to Bruin, links it up to Manor, checked his kick, close, slides in where Angels fear to tread. Total commitment to the footy, and his reward is a shot after the three-quarter time siren.
Centre bounce. Horn Francis, just not the time to get on the fly, like millionaire sort of stuff. Not working, hasn't worked all night. They've wanted it easy tonight. Port Adelaide have wanted it easy. The easy one out the back, the easy one on the fly from stoppage. Geelong have been prepared to do the hard things, and that was the best example of the night.
Final act of the third term. Brad Close in the channel. He's missed. He's missed to the right. So the margin at the final change is 55 points as the Cats crack the tongue. 14-16-100 to Port Adelaide, 6-9-45. Multiple goal kickers, 3 to Manor and Stengel, 2 to Cameron and Bowes. There's nothing on the Port Adelaide side of the sheet. AFL Nation for 4 and 20 pies, and for Tyre Power, big footy final sale.
That quarter on AFL Nation was for Host Plus. Host Plus has been named Money Magazine's best super fund for 2024. That's a plus. Issued by Host Plus Pty Limited. Check the PDS and TMD at hostplus.com.au.
Experience the power of Milwaukee's M18 outdoor power equipment. From From blowers, trimmers to lawnmowers and chainsaws, Milwaukee's outdoor power equipment meets the performance and durability needs of landscape professionals. With over 250 solutions on the one battery platform, take your battery off-site today and power a world of outdoor solutions. Explore the outdoor power equipment range at milwaukeetool.com.au. Milwaukee, nothing but heavy duty.
Step up to the next generation of professional power tools with Makita XGT 40 volt and 80 volt max. Experience premium professional power with cordless convenience that's setting new benchmarks in performance and efficiency. Makita's XGT offers limitless professional power, reliability and runtime. XGT simply outpowers, outsmarts and outlasts the rest. When power means business, choose Makita XGT. It's power without limits.
Hi, Josh Kennedy here. Have you received an electricity or gas price increase? Or you're worried about rising energy costs? Give Red Energy a call. Their Aussie-based team will give you a no-obligation energy bill comparison, and you might be surprised by what they have to offer. Plus, Red Energy is owned by Snowy Hydro, a leader in renewable energy. Give 100% Australian-owned Red Energy a call today on 131 806 or visit redenergy.com.au. Eligibility criteria and conditions apply.
Hiya. Hello. The taxi ride between client meetings. The perfect opportunity to go to bizcover.com.au to switch and save on your business insurance.
Real estate agent.
Like your professional indemnity. Because only BizCover lets you compare, save, and get instant cover online, on the go, in minutes.
I can save $500.
What's that?
I can save $500.
Okay. Check how much a professional like you could save on your business insurance. For on-the-go cover,
Go BizCover. When you walk into OMF, it's okay to close your eyes. We encourage it, in fact, because all we're suggesting is after you've looked somewhere else, check out our signature range of mattresses, or even OMF's best value bed-in-box mattresses. Come and have a lie down. Simply see how you feel, and then open your eyes and look at the price. You might just see that you'll be 100% comfy. OMF.
In construction, civil works, mining, agriculture or heavy haulage and looking at the next big project? Don't let paperwork or big upfront costs slow you down. With Yellowgate, you don't have to choose between hiring and buying machinery. Our Rent Now, Buy Later solution lets you rent the gear you need today before deciding what's best for tomorrow. Enjoy manageable monthly rental payments, operational efficiency and better cash flow management. Join the other Australian businesses already using Yellowgate. Visit ygg.com.au.
Hi, it's Shelley Craft. For locally made gift ideas that shine like green and gold, check out Australian Made's top Aussie products. The go-to resource to find the very best Aussie-made goodies. From handcrafted homewares and accessories to innovative Aussie inventions, you'll find a top Aussie product for every occasion. Each one carries the trusted green and gold kangaroo logo, so you can be sure it's genuinely Aussie. Hop to australianmade.com.au/top Aussie and support local while you shop.
Every detail about Porsche has to be just right down to the way you pronounce their name. It's this unrelenting attention to detail over 35 years that Porsche demanded when selecting Charlie Battisti & Co. as their certified collision center for Porsche. So should the unthinkable happen, Charlie Battisti & Co. will restore your vehicle to Porsche's exacting standards. CharlieBattisti.com.au, Melbourne's finest facility for the repair of prestige German vehicles.
You're listening to AFL Nation for Tyre Power. Big footy final sale now on. And 4 and 20 pies. 4 and 20 pies, Australia's original fan food.
So ball back into play, and Banner kicks around the body, and he slots a phenomenal goal, and he is a phenomenal story. Mature age recruit, and he's become a weapon. And he had his first chance out at the X-Cat. Now Bruin could ram home this advantage. It's a goal. Lamont sent a few to an early train. It is a goal. The Cats have 12, and they are stalking a massive number right now. Neil's in a good spot to take it, and this one you can pretty much put in the book. The Cats will get a week off and have a prelim, and he slots it. He jumps for joy.
Macca's. I'm loving it moments. The Monopoly game at Macca's is back.
It's the Cats by 55 points. AFL Nation for 4 and 20 pies, and for Tyre Power, big footy final sale. Michael is just pondering the right way to pull a sickie tomorrow morning.
I'm going to call in sick. I think I've spent a bit of time with Tom Stewart. I've caught the flu, and I just feel like I need the morning off. I can't face David King
He's already in there now.
I can't face
He's
him.
prepping now. He's already in the studio.
Oh, he would be. He won't sleep tonight to be that happy. You wait until you hear him tomorrow morning. I can't handle it.
Apparently North Melbourne kicked the biggest score against Port Adelaide last time they met.
Oh, my goodness.
55-point margin, the Cats. Start of the final term. Dangerfield is in the middle. He just mishandled the footy and Horne-Francis picked it up. Dangerfield lunged at him but missed him. Horne-Francis kicked aimlessly to the wing. Cut off pretty well by Buse. Delivers up the line. Myers just a bit too strong.
I've said that a few times tonight. Just a bit too strong. Too strong at ground level. Too strong in the air. Too strong at clearance.
Kicked the bump ball to Mullen, who got through 3 tackles. He did end up coughing it up though. Narkles kicked down the wing. You see it. Well, not quite back. Kolodjasny couldn't hang on. Radaglia released Georgiades, who again missed Dixon. You couldn't script this stuff. Benny Hill wouldn't have put that sequence together twice. You can do it once, but you can't do it twice. And Blitzars runs it out of defence for the Cats. Alia takes the intercept mark on the wing.
How many missed opportunities? Georgiades inside forward 50s, kicking it at 25% from his 8 kicks tonight.
Benny Hill got banned, by the way, Jared. So Port Adelaide team is going to get banned the way we're going.
Charlie will get banned if that happens again.
Yeah, frustrated.
Big swinging arm.
He might not be playing again ever anyway.
Didn't connect. Yeah, good point. Might be his last game, but poor kick from Horne-Francis.
Bit of a Wakeland. Maybe. Sorry, a lynch on Wakeland. Yes. So close, which is a word we're not using for this game. 100 to 45. Close goes wide, and good mark to Alia. He's on the wing, and there's a lot of spare red seats in the outer here at the Adelaide Oval. Short to Burn-Jones, short inside to Bergman. He's missed him completely.
What is going on?
Dangerfield's about to pounce. Takes on 2. Caught by the Dacks. Got a handball forward. Manor, who's been dominant. Will he go for goal? He might go for goal. Myers should have let it go. He's marked it on the line. That would have been 4 for Manor.
It's just hard to explain how much of a disaster this has been for Port Adelaide tonight. Like Burn-Jones missing that kick, Dangerfield winning the ball in dispute, refusing to be tackled, and another walk-in goal to the opposition. Just lazy, no-care football from Burn-Jones.
It's not a loss. This is a nightmare. So Myers has 2, and the Cats, who had 100 points on the scoreboard for three-quarter time, now have 106, and Chris Scott's got to start thinking about resting Dangerfield. That chase in the middle just before he lunged to try and lay a tackle, that's the thing he's got to avoid.
So you lunge awkwardly and the hammy goes. I mean, you can't, of course, but now you can control that now. You just get him off. Like, he's brushed off 2 players there, and you just can't protect him from himself. He knows no other way, which is what I admire so much about him. What a performance from him tonight. Has led the way when it's mattered. He's got an uncanny ability to peak at the right time. We saw that in 22. 19 disposals, 10 ground balls he's won, which is 2 more than anyone else on the ground. 4 clearances, 7 entries, 10 score involvements from his 19 touches. And he's probably now overtaken Holmes as the best player on the ground.
He's got it again. His hand pass though is going to be cut off by Horne-Francis, who played the fend off and then outran Dempsey, had a bounce to the wing, so he went lateral the whole way, but he delivers well to Narkle. 61 points down, Port. Narkle sets it inside 50. Rioli and Sweetfoot the same ball. They thankfully avoided catastrophe as Rioli took the mark.
Jordan's just got to know his place there. Leave it for Willie, but there's an explosion from Jason Horne-Francis out of the middle of the ground. We haven't seen enough of that, and when it has, it's been him alone. He's won 10 contested possessions from his 13, Horne-Francis, 4 clearances and 5 score involvements. Been pretty good. This will be 6, but nothing from Wines, Rosie, or unfortunately Butters, who was subbed out at half-time.
Willie Rioli is kicking for his second, well outside the 50. It was touched on the way through. Guthrie marks it at the top of the square. Now, they didn't know down that end that it had been touched, only up at the mark. So it's going to be balled up. Sweet tried to knock it goal side. Guthrie was able to gather for the Cats, gave it off to Dempsey. Out of the pocket, it's a bit of a risky kick. It clears close. Porter got numbers around it. Burn-Jones to Rioli. Prodded it forward for Wines to take the mark.
Yeah, so the message from Ken, I mean, all you can probably do after the game is just say it wasn't us. It's not the way we wanted to play the game. We've earned the double chance for a reason, and we've been good enough to earn that throughout the home and away season, and we front up again next week, and it has to be a stronger performance. I'm not sure what else you can say after the game. I feel like he's often put in pretty difficult spots, and this time for the players tonight.
Ollie Wines, right foot drop punt on the set shot, leaks away across the face, through for a behind. 60-point margin on the Deutz-Fahr Tractors scoreboard. The Deutz-Fahr Warrior range from 170 to 350 horsepower. It's Deutz-Fahr Evolved. Visit deutzfahr.com.au.
They've been inaccurate as well. 1 goal 4 from set shots. Geelong have now kicked 5 goals 10 from set shots. So combined 6 goals 14 from set shots tonight.
Holmes wide to Guthrie. They're on the half-back flank. Yeah, when it comes to accentuating the positive support, there's not a lot that he can accentuate. So Guthrie towards the wing. Stanley's there. Little flick on his clever horn. Francis gathers and goes. That was a brilliant move. He looks inside. He wants someone. He gets someone. He gets the waddling Travis Boak. Got it up to Drew. He wanted it back for the 1-2. Gave it up to Bergman, who's been great tonight. Kick it around the body, a bouncing ball. Radicalier attacks it. Blitzar's the other way. Went and got it. Gave it to Holmes. He has the poise. Tried to get a handball out wide to Buse. Boak goes and gets it again. Flicks the handball back to Logan Evans on the back pedal. Heads inside 50 to Jack Henry and Kolajasny and Rioli. Rioli, clever. Got it to Burgoyne, goal against the grain. At least gave their fans something to cheer, and they can wallpaper over some cracks in this last quarter. Port Adelaide, but structurally it won't fool anyone. 15-16, place 7-10 with 15 minutes left in the last.
Yeah, I mean, the crowd have done a pretty good job to stick around, to be fair, after what Port Adelaide have delivered tonight. It was a bit of a goal out of nothing. Long ball inside forward 50. Henry missed the spoil, and Rioli was really clever at ground level and found Burgoyne with a really smart kick over the back. But once again, Burgoyne's another player where, despite the impressive season that he's had throughout the home and away season, finals are a different story. And his performance tonight just hasn't been strong enough. He's lost too many one-on-one contests, hasn't been able to win enough of the footy, just 12 touches, been no run and drive from him across the wing, and defensively he's been poor. So really hard to find a winner for Port Adelaide tonight, and a lot of their players have been found out on the bigger stage.
Replay for Bunnings trade here to help. Warren Francis is staying committed to the task. He gathers the ball out of the wing, having tracked it from the middle. Atkins meant he couldn't get forward, so he had a bounce and kicked it back into the middle. Logan Evans is going to be overwhelmed, but Burne-Jones is there to lend a hand. Gives it off to Mead. Feeds it up to Burgoyne. Kicks Port to full forward. Dixon with Blitzarves flying over the top. Narkles sticks the tackle, but he went high on home.
Just missed him, Burgoyne. Had the easy lead up. Radicalier missed him. Went long. Took the easy option. Just haven't been able to lower their eyes. No connection between mid and forward tonight.
Holmes to Humphreys to Buse. The Cats kick it around inside defensive 50. Buse takes off, runs around Dixon, delivers up the wing. Myers is in a one-on-one scrap. Burne-Jones with the spoil out to the boundary. Burgoyne sees it the rest of the way over.
Just wouldn't mind like seeing Rosie across half-back now. Why not? Well, have a look at it for half a quarter or to finish the game and see if it's something you can work on next week. Now, Butters may be out, so that may mean that he needs to play on ball, but clearly there's a weakness across half-back, and you're going to have to do something a little bit different next week.
Boundary throw in for Spitwater. High pressure Washers. Wines gets hold of it. High ball drifts into the centre of the ground. They fly from various angles. Francis Evans got held up with the footy. Pull it up. Sweet and Stanley form up again. Sweet knocked it forward. Duncan cut it off. Hand pass to Bruin. Links it up to Holmes. Has a look what's on up ahead. Kicks for Ollie Henry in a one-on-one. Bergman won it well. Pushed him over, took them up.
Takes off. With a 1-2 at Boak. Bergman heads wide, and McAtee drops an easy chest mark. And that emphasises how bad it's been, and it's run out of play. And we won't get a ball. It's a free kick.
And he gave away a free kick to him, pushing in the back out of sheer frustration.
Yeah, which is bizarre. How many mistakes can you make on top of your mistakes?
It started from the first centre bounce, where Willem Drew fumbled an easy handball receive from Zach Butters. Then Lockie Jones dropped one. There was 3 mistakes early on in this game. Zirk Thatcher dropped an easy mark, and it's just been reflective of the night right from the start. Something psychological about this Port Adelaide group meant that they weren't able to cope with finals football.
And it wouldn't have happened too many times in the modern era. Teams won a flag, missed the finals, won a flag. So history's probably against Geelong, but gee, they've looked good tonight.
Left half forward for the Cats at the throw-in. Stanley knocks it down. Boker's onto it, though. Hand pass just didn't quite find Wines, who had to fight hard for the ground ball. Burton worked it forward. Mead held up with it. No escape.
We might even jump to premiership favouritism, but the Swans get beaten tomorrow.
It's the best path through. I've always thought the winner of tonight's game goes through to the grand final. Who knows what happens on grand final day, but it's the best position to be in on this side of the draw.
Myers at the stoppage. Dempsey, Manor, Dempsey again, and now Atkins, who feeds it inboard to Myers. He's through the 50. He pulls it at goal and he slides it home. Myers adds to Port Adelaide's woes. He kicks his third. And it's the Cats by 60 points again. 16-16 to 7-10. The Deutz-Fahr Tractors scoreboard. Patrick Dangerfield was just down on the bench having to sit, so I wonder. Spitwater high pressure washers made tough and ready in Australia.
You just wouldn't believe the ease in which they've scored. Like, if I told you, as I said, in the third quarter, Port Adelaide are winning the inside 50 count by 1 and trail by 10 goals. And they're just looking at Dangerfield on the bench there. I think he was just celebrating the goal as the cameras went to him. But Zach Tui is onto the ground, so we'll find out who has been
medical
subbed
staff's with Stengel.
Okay, so
which is not to say that he's been subbed off, but the medical staff's with him.
Might be his one poor move for the night, Chris Scott, not getting Zach Tui on earlier.
Yeah, just 12 minutes for Tui, so he becomes vulnerable when it comes to selection and Tom Stewart's inclusion. But yeah, I mean, just 32 scoring shots from 47 entries. Remarkable.
So from the ball up, Wines attacks it. Blitzars is with him. Charlie Dixon gets it. Yeah, you heard it exactly as I heard it as Charlie got the kick away. And the applause from the Port fans. Bruin had his pocket kicked by Logan Evans. He gets it back and he drops it. Had to be free kick for holding the ball. It is. So Francis Evans now, after Logan Evans helped out in the tackle. And will he have it cracked from 53? He doesn't. He sits it up, hoping for Georgiades, or he'll take anyone really. Rosie off the deck, kicks it through for a behind. So 16-16 to 7-10. And Dangerfield's getting ready to come back on. Surprise, surprise.
Myers has been subbed out. So.
Myers has?
Yeah.
Must have lost the raffle. Tui kicks in out to Jeremy Cameron.
Just 14 touches for the Port Adelaide captain, Connor Rosie.
Cameron, that was the most expansive switch you would see to the near side. Guthrie up to Dangerfield as he tags back in. Tui's on a tear up the field, so too is Guthrie. That's where the pass lands, and he links it up to Tui. He couldn't, he does. He gets under the tackle of Georgiades and kicks up to full forwards. Brought to ground by Blitzars. Ollie Henry feeds it around, and Close will miss with his snap. He hits the post. The third into the woodwork for the Cats tonight. 10 goals need again. Deutz-Fahr Tractors score.
Just ease. Like Tui comes onto the ground, gets the ball, a hot handball under pressure. Georgiades can't tackle him. Why not? I mean, I'd love to see the broken tackle count tonight. They've messed with them. Holmes, Dangerfield, whoever. Just they have refused to be tackled.
The Cats knew they were going to go down the middle with the kick in. Jeremy Cameron.
There's another one.
He shrugs. He goes. He gives. Got the 1-2. He's on his left and he chips it wide. Humphreys, he had a little slip. And he hands it back to Jezza. Little fumble. Gets it back. Knocked it to Ollie Henry. They're just messing around at the moment, the Cats. In fact, they might as well warm the plane up. What are they going home tonight? I could leave now and still win. 113 to 53 with 10 minutes to go in the last quarter in front of, well, the crowd says 50,342. There's about 28 left.
Yes, it peaked a while ago. Dixon swipes it away straight down to Dempsey. Hangs it up to full forwards. With the flight was Duncan. Ball spills clear. Tui came one way, Aliir the other. Aliir won the footy, but he's kicked it straight back to the Cats. Blitzarves has it 70 metres from goal. Just unhurried We have reached the halfway mark of this final term. Blitzarves plays it up into the pocket. Close has got plenty against him, and Bergman takes another contested mark.
Yeah, I think that's his 6th intercept mark, Miles Bergman. He can hold his head up high.
So again, they go the corridor, but again, Geelong knew they were going to go the corridor. So Guthrie, whose brother Cam plays tomorrow with Hawkins in the 2s for the Cats. Humphreys wide and a bit too wide for everyone, although Rosie dropped the mark. A spin move from Bruin, and then the kick was delightful. Laced out, tight little ribbon around it, and set it on the chest of Jeremy Cameron, who can go back and slot it from about 45 and add to his numbers, which are pretty good for a guy who hasn't dominated, but when they needed him, he was there.
Oh no, he's still the most dangerous forward for me involved in the final series and still alive. Hogan's been enormous, but this is the guy I'd still pick first because he just does it in multiple ways on the ground like he has tonight. He comes up, he can play a selfless role, and then he can just do this.
Eddie Struts struck it pretty well. No, he didn't. Near side. Only a behind.
Ended up with 17 touches, 10 score involvements, 5 shots at goals, been inaccurate, kicked 2 goals, 3. At least 3 of those he would usually nail. Could have been a huge night.
16 goals, 18.
Amazing.
34 scoring shots. Port Adelaide bring it out. They're coming right through the middle again. Burton delivers long to centre half forward. 4-man pack, off hands. Needed to be one underneath. McEntee got taken with it. Didn't get rid of it. Holding the ball. One arm pinned. Shot to bits in the current game. Guthrie out to Duncan, plays it wide to Dempsey. Dempsey has a look to half forward. He wants to give Dangerfield a look. He's going to have plenty of company by the time it arrives. And Logan Evans is a good player. He gets in and takes the mark.
He's been a good find out of nowhere.
Really good mid-season pickup. Really impressed with the way that he's acclimatised to footy at this level.
Graduate from Norwood. He has really delivered at half-back with no Houston and no Farrell. So the Cats have it again. It's death by 1,000 cuts here.
Look out.
So Tui has a bounce, has a second. He thought about going for it from 50, but he takes the unselfish route and gives it to his captain, which is probably not a bad idea given he wants to stay in the team. So Dangerfield to line up, and he can take 45 off the clock here, Danger. Pulls up the big hoop socks, holds it in his hand. Don't strain yourself, Danger. Don't do a hammy. Just chip it to the pocket. And he does just that. And the ball in, it's almost a win for the Cats rather than do anything crazy. Maybe even a bit of time-wasting chip mark footy could be the go.
Yeah, if you could describe a typical Dangerfield game, it's been that tonight. 22 touches, 7 inside 50s, 10 ground balls, 13 contested possessions. Been enormous.
Jones has a fumble. Manna gives it to Stengel, danced around them, made them look silly, and kicks his 4th. That is indicative of the embarrassment that Port Adelaide is suffering tonight. Stengel just toys with them. 17-18, 120 Geelong. Port Adelaide 7-11, 53. The judgment of the football world is just closing in by the minute. The clips are getting added and added and added.
I'm just certain he's not good enough at the level, Lockie Jones. Like as harsh as
you
that
said that
sounds.
before. I've heard you say it before.
I've said that repeatedly, right? And I said before the game that was the matchup.
The reason I remember it
really
is
worried
because I had to have a good hard think, and I think I might agree with you.
Yeah, well, you just can't be making those mistakes at AFL level in a bottom 4 side, let alone in a top 2 side that is desperate to win a home final. And there's been too many mistakes that have dogged Lockie Jones' career, and that was another one.
Dangerfield's still in there going 100 mile an hour, and Rosie's popped his shoulder.
Oh no!
Rosie's popped his shoulder. He's up, and he looks like he's got to fight on, but gee. So Holmes the free kick. He gives it to Dangerfield. Don't kick it big, Danger. Just chip it wide. He does kick it big and wide, and Logan Evans content to see it out. And we'll get a ball in. Well, the Cats have an extra week off now, so they had the week off last week, so they probably do want to get a bit of game time into these guys. But if
look at their fans over in front of this throw-in.
You nervous Nellies? Just let him play. They're loving it.
Look at them. They've loved it.
At the throw-in, Stanley sparks it forward all the way back to the boundary.
You'd love to be a Geelong supporter. I spoke during the week just about what it would mean for Chris Scott's legacy if he was able to win a third. I think it puts him right up the top, if not the best coach, to do what he's done over 14 years with a 70% win-loss record in the most competitive era. Unbelievable.
Stanley to the back. Stengel got dispossessed. Beautiful work by Jez. He just pried that out of the pack and hooked it through for a goal. He's kicked 3 beauties tonight. He hasn't worried with the mundane. Top shelf only. And the Cats to 18-18. 126. Port Adelaide 7-11-53. The goal of the night for Corteva. Paradigm Aralex active herbicide. Reliable wide spectrum weed control in cereal.
Well, when I said he's the pick of the forwards that I would take because he does it in every way. I mean, that's another example. Just stoppage goal. I'm just going to waltz through the front of the stoppage, pick it up with one hand, throw it onto the non-preferred right boot and slot my third after having 18 touches. I mean, we talk about Bond, talk about Dacos. We don't talk enough about this guy. Still in the conversation as the best player in football.
And he's everything Port Adelaide don't have. And this is Geelong being cruel to be kind to Port Adelaide here. Dangerfield's still fighting the fight here. He runs at a million mile an hour. Gets it, gives it to Humphries, quick off the back of the square. To Stanley, to Holmes, who's been arguably the best. Chips it inside 50, and Jez has got it again. From 50 out, can line up for number 4.
This wasn't the matchup for me earlier because Aaliyah, and it's not going to matter because of the lack of resistance that Port Adelaide's midfield have provided, but he's the one that takes, I don't know, it's just not the right one because Aaliyah's been so good as that interceptor and he's been preoccupied with Cameron Clearly, who's still had the better of him, and he hasn't been able to be that influence, that defensive barrier that he has been for so long this year.
So for his 4th from directly out, from 55 out, he has crushed that all the way home, and he is threatening to be Mr. September. Here's Jeremy Cameron.
That'll do you.
And he's off.
Yep, that's it.
Kane Corns has yelled out the window, get off, get yourself to the cotton wool, and then roll in a big roll of bubble wrap.
Yeah, the runners come out and gone, right, danger, off. You're just about to find out where you sit in the pecking order.
Get off. All of you off.
Yep, Dangerfield's coming off. If they could play with 14 right now, they
may as well. I mean, 79 points, which was, I think, from memory, the margin with that dreadful Brisbane game that I thought was looking like the end of Ken Hinkley, and they fought back. I'm not sure they're going to be able to do that against the sides that they're going to face next week, be it Western Bulldogs or Hawthorn, in the form that they're in. So everything's gone wrong tonight for Port Adelaide, and everything's gone right, including Jezza kicking them from everywhere. He's had 19, 4 goals, 12 score involvements. What a player. What a
TAC, stop kidding yourself. If you drink, don't drive. Back in the middle, Stanley's more than paid his way. He got it moving forward. Drew cut it off, gave it to Horn Francis, who goes on a bouncing run. Had a couple in pursuit. Delivers up to half forward. Guthrie just cuts it off calmly across the front.
Rock solid again. Good player. Zach Guthrie, good player.
It's like a work experience kid the first 3 years he was there.
He was tiny. He's taken 4 intercept marks in a final tonight. 24 touches, been enormous.
Back to Jack Henry on the horseshoe around to Holmes. The completion of the transfer to Blitzarms. Blitzarms called to play on. So down the outer wing, Neil presents. Good strong mark in front of Bergman. Up to use it quickly. Hand pass to Humphries gliding by. Up to the 50. Mullen worked underneath it by Burton. Burn-Jones kicks sideways, and Lear is there to take the mark in defence.
So closing stages of this game. 19-18 the Cats to Port Adelaide 7-11. Their backline's been about as open as a 7-11 all night.
Where's he kicking that?
Straight down the middle. Horn Francis can't mark it. So wobbly kick from Bose to half forward. Manor a little fend off. Bergman the free. Those poor fans that are stuck around that have been keeping an eye on the free kick count. Pretty happy that he got a free at half back.
7-17.
Bergman heads out wide. Zerg Thatcher runs the wing. Up against the boundary. Leaps the handball over the top to Travis Boak. He turns and chips inside 50 to Charlie. Here we go. This will be interesting.
Got to be around your champions in moments like this.
Yeah, I mean,
see him off into the best way.
The selection call will be criticised, but they had to play him just because of the backup ruck work that he gives you. You're not going to play Vicentini. Soldo's not ready, and Marshall, every time he's played, he just hasn't been at the level and has got injured. So it may be criticised, but in the end it was the right call.
This may be his last kick in AFL footy if they bring Marshall in next week. He's missed to the near side. Only a behind for the man dubbed King Charles, but he hasn't been king tonight. 19-18 to 7-12 with 3 minutes left in the last.
So we're in time on for Adelaide. Seconds can be the difference between life and death, make the difference with Adelaide. Tui has it in the back pocket for the Cats.
There's more Cats fans here than Port fans now.
There are. Jones drops a mark on the way out. Drew's there to tumble it over the boundary. Willem Drew is 21, the leader for Port Adelaide. Wines has had 20 for the Cats. It's Holmes 27, Guthrie 25, Dangerfield 24, Myers and Manor 21 apiece. All the numbers for Hijaz Halal Financial Services. At the throw in, Dempsey just roves it underneath. Takes it away to Atkins, who brings it up to Manor, another. And then off to Bruin, kicks inside the 50. Perfect ball for Neil, who couldn't help but mark it.
Yeah, beautiful ball use. Once again, that footy goes on the outside, devastating. So once it's left the initial contest area, Geelong's ability to exploit them on the outside. Great kick from Bruin. Midfield stood up. All they had to do was essentially break even or just be beaten by a narrow margin, and they were going to be okay. They've ended up destroying Port Adelaide from midfield, +5 in clearances and +42 scores from stoppage.
1 goal, 2 so far for Shannon Neal from 45 out. That's a good line. He's got his second. He's not going anywhere, Shannon Neal. And the Cats with a game high lead of 84 points late in the piece. The Makita XGT 40V max clock has 2 minutes remaining. It's 20 goals, 18 to 7-12.
And this might actually signal the end of Tom Hawkins as well, given that you can't drop Shannon Neal. They've got a week off next week. They've won so convincingly. You can't drop anyone from this team for Tom. No. And he would know that.
He knows. You can't. This is a bit like the...
Does he pull out of the VFL
It's a bit
tomorrow?
like the Mooney Hawkins moment. No. You have to be ready just in case he rips a hammy or something terrible happens in a preliminary final. But I think we've known, haven't we?
Yeah.
No one really wants to say it out loud, but we know.
Yeah, no, we've known it was... They were never going to pick him for this game, and this forward line has had 38 shots at goal. So they're not going to change that.
38 shots at goal, you're right. And they've probably had a couple that have been clean misses. So Rosie does the ringer in the middle. Gets the kick to Horn Francis, looks around for a handball option. He chips the kick toward Drew, who's forward at the moment. Rosie gets the crumb, caught. Atkins wrapped him up with a tackle, goes back in, holds it in, we'll get another ball up. So 1 minute and 40 left in what's been a disappointing night for Port Adelaide, but one of the great nights for the Cats, and this little, what did you call it, the Colbert curse continues.
It's about to be broken, Dwayne. It's about to be broken. Burton sends it into Wines. So 2 at Football Park, 3 at Adelaide Oval. It all started with the Colbert no mark. Cats fans who've made the trip across, it's all been well worthwhile. Ollie Wines is outside the boundary and 48 metres from goal as he takes his set shot and he flays it to the near side out on the full. So not a great moment, the Brownlow Rovers.
Well, there are more Cat fans here at the moment.
Yeah, not a great night for Ollie, just kicking it at 36%. He's probably got 3 shots at goal and he's only got the 1 point, couple out in the full.
Colajetny out wide, Wines takes the mark and the rebound, about to send Port Adelaide back inside 50. It's been a demolition job. Amazing to watch. He launches long. A couple of options down there. Umpires found a free kick and it'll be another one for the Cats, but it must be said they've earned pretty much all of them. The Cats have been harder at it from the opening second. 20 goals, 18, 138 to Port Adelaide 7, 12, 54. On AFL Nation for 4 and 20 Pies to take us home, here's Gerard Whateley.
The Cats kick it around in defence. Their fans are able to fill the Adelaide night sky with the chants. Jasny now has it against the behind post. They've all played a role. The defence has been so good. They've been impenetrable basically all night. But their finest moment there is Guthrie was spoiled by Burgoyne, the ball out of play.
Yeah, what a balance in their game. So 69 points from stoppage. Amazing. Beating Port Adelaide's midfield, which we spoke so much about in the lead-up, by 48 points from stoppage. They've kicked 62 points from turnover, so plus 30 in that aspect as well.
Shallow throw in. Sweet knocked it back. Burgoyne has the footy around to Wines. His kick is smothered. Holmes taken to ground. Ball in dispute. The Cats are going to finish it in hands. It's a dominance from Geelong that few would have imagined. They march into Adelaide and claim all the advantages of September. While for Port Adelaide, it is a familiar and bitter finals failure on home soil. The Cats by a staggering 84 points. Play the game as it should be played, at home or far away. Our banners fly high from dawn to dark, down at Gardenia Park. There are all sorts of ways to carve this up, but in the second half, Geelong kicked 11 goals to 1. They led by 3 points at quarter time, 20 at the half, 55 at three-quarter time and 84 at the close. The final score at Adelaide Oval, Geelong 20 goals 18, 138, defeat Port Adelaide 7-12-54. We are Geelong, the greatest team of all. We are Geelong, we're always on the ball. We play the game as it should be played, at home. It's an MCG preliminary final for Chris Scott and his team. For the winners, Jeremy Cameron booted 4 and so too did Tyson Stengel. There was 3 for Manor and 3 for Myers, 2 for Bowes, with singles to Bruin, Neal and Ollie Henry. While for Port Adelaide, they were singles down the page. Rosie, Burton, Burgoyne, Rioli, Horn-Francis, Georgiades and McEntee in front of 50,342. Geelong win the second qualifying final by 84 points. Kane Corns for MEGT, Australia's apprenticeship.
Yeah, I'm a bit stunned, Jared. Nicely summed up there, but it's just so unexpected of what we thought coming into this game, particularly when Tom Stewart went out and Port Adelaide had been in really good form. There was no signs that they had a performance like this in them. So you've got to give credit to Geelong for the way that they've set up this game and the way that they've been able to execute in these moments. Just an outstanding performance right from the start where they were absolutely switched on. Yeah, I mean, the old saying, it was men against boys, was evident so often tonight. So, yeah, just a terrific performance in every facet, from inside the stoppage to being able to get the ball on the outside. Just thought they were amazing. And then their forward line, which was always going to be so damaging if they could get enough supply. Well, they did that. They scored far too easily. The story clearly is going to be Port Adelaide and the fallout for that, and that's what we will deal with in the coming days and as they try and regather themselves into next week. So and Geelong go through to another home prelim final, the best side of the draw or the easiest side of the draw, and you think what is possible for them is the sky's the limit.
Yes, so you have to start with Port Adelaide here and the mental scarring of what's happened previously and just the short breaking point. So that the most alarming part of tonight is just where the breaking point was.
No resistance, was there?
No. You can't play a qualifying final like that, especially when you're going to be on your home. The point of the double chance is if you muck up the first week, you go, right, not on our watch, and you plant your flag at home. But when you give up, and let's be honest, that team gave up. I don't know how you put that back together.
I don't either, and that's what I'm trying to wrap my head around as well. That's why it's just unbelievable. And we saw it in a prelim final in 21 against the Western Bulldogs, where the game was over at quarter time, and I used the words, there was a few players buried on the Adelaide Oval on that night. It looked exactly like that again tonight, but worse. Against a side that hadn't set the world on fire, Geelong, this year. There were weaknesses there that you could have exposed, and that teams had exposed against them at various stages throughout the year, including Port Adelaide when they went there and beat them earlier on in the year. So I'm struggling to reconcile what that means for Ken Hinkley and the group.
Well, let me read you the last line of the creed.
The
Port Adelaide. So let me just throw you the creed, Kane. We can see that there can be honour in defeat, but to each of us, honourable defeat of our club and Guernsey can only come after human endeavour on the playing field is completely exhausted. Was the human endeavour completely exhausted tonight?
No way. I mean, it looked like you were the worst team in the competition tonight. That's what it looked like in a home qualifying final. So the fallout will be significant. It's not going to happen this week because you've got to butter up again and take on the Western Bulldogs or Hawthorn. I suspect it's going to be the Western Bulldogs who will come to this ground, who will be sitting back tonight going, if we can take care of Hawthorn, and vice versa, mind you. The Port Adelaide are so gettable. How could they not be after witnessing that? So I don't think you can turn that around in the space of a week with the personnel issues that they've got and the psychological damage of performance like that. And maybe no Butters. So
because what you'd like to do is drop 5 players, but they don't have any capacity to do that.
They don't, and you just look at how their depth or lack thereof was exposed tonight. Like, I'm looking at Mead, who's been an important young player for them and has taken some strides this year, 8 touches. I look at Lockie Jones, who's just not at the level. Sweet was beaten in the ruck against a player and a veteran who looked as though he had one foot out the door halfway through the year, Reece Stanley. He's beaten. Radaglia started okay with his contest, but one kick on the night wasn't able to trouble the scorers. Francis Evans and McEntee were just awful, just really awful, just not up to AFL standard. Naka was a sub, and Charlie Dixon probably should have retired at the end of last year. That's what you're dealing with. So you're dealing with a bottom 10 that are just not at the level, despite the fact that there had been a game plan that they'd been able to fit into and perform their roles really well in the lead up to this game, and that's why you did have some confidence. Couple that with the midfield, which at times has looked like the best midfield in football this year. There was nothing. There was absolutely nothing. I think
Josh Sinn up.
No, he's not up to it. Not up to it. And if he was, he would have played because he would have been perfect to come and play wing, half back. But
Dylan Williams.
Maybe Williams is the one, but I mean these are fringe players at best. Like, so it's just when you don't have your stars. Finlayson's done for the year.
Yeah.
Farrell's done for the year. Pau Pepper's an important player, done for the year and hasn't played. So look, there's just not enough there. Top end is good, but I mean your stars have got to turn up as well, and they weren't there. Wines had a poor night. Connor Rosie's had a poor year and didn't deliver anything. Horn Francis had his moments and tried till the end, but him and Bergman were probably the only two that you think played their role to their own ability and their standard.
Great moment between the Cats and their home fans.
I'd like to have a burger shop in Caniva tomorrow. I mean, the drive home's going to be an enjoyable one for the fans tomorrow.
3 bays of Geelong fans have gathered around the race.
It's a hoop fest over there.
Yes, it is. And Patrick Dangerfield gave them the big wind-up as he was heading towards them. They'll be a grateful set of fans.
And they'll get a home ground advantage, obviously, for the prelim, even though it's not at GMHBA Stadium. We had that discussion pre-game, but they could end up in a grand final against the Giants, where they're going to have overwhelming support if it's against the Giants in a grand final.
Yeah. The path through now is the cleanest and easiest. Now, it's never easy to make a grand final, but they know what they're doing. And you give Chris Scott another week to prepare.
Smashed Sydney by 100-odd points in the grand final last time they beat them.
That was done. That was done at quarter time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's amazing. Just amazing. Now, I mean, that's equally as big a story as what Port Adelaide is for differing reasons. I can't believe that performance.
What about the people who doubted Patrick Dangerfield's quality early on in his career? They're now it's pretty silent.
Was there many?
All right, we're going to just fade the song up underneath us. team accustomed to final success?
Well, just the difference in the clubs in general. I mean, we're talking about Port Adelaide and this is Groundhog Day for them. They do this quite a bit. They get to finals, haven't quite been able to cut it. They get outplayed early. They haven't quite got the intensity. They haven't got the skill level. Whereas Geelong on the other side of the coin, I mean, they just do this. How they do it, I'm not sure. But maybe it's not just Chris Scott. Maybe it's Andrew Mackey and Stephen Wells. But to find manner to go and get a number of players like Jeremy Cameron, as Kane said a few times, he might be the best player in the comp. He wanted to go and play at Geelong. I mean, they've got a lure as well as a great club that you do want to go and play at, not just a coach that you want to go and play for. And they got, talking about depth, they got Gary Rowan who can't get a game in this team.
De Koning. Like, come on. Like, right. He looked like he's going to be the best centre-half back for 10 years, 2 years ago. And he's not in this side. I don't know. Like, maybe there's something that we don't give them credit for, which is just peaking at the right time. Maybe that this is all in their plan to just, like they did in 22, to send Dangerfield off for 8 weeks and give him a pre-season, get him back to be the finals player that he was. I don't know, but there's maturity about the coach, even the way that they handed Tyson Stengel this year. I mean, could have gone one of two ways, couldn't it?
Well, and halfway through this year, they hit that flat spot and people were writing the cats off, saying, well, that's it, they're cooked. We knew they were cooked. So 2 years ago, they were written off for being too old. No, they're too old. It is an amazing club.
It is. Yeah, I thought they were done. I thought with this midfield, with how important it is in finals, there's no way. I thought they could compete with the best midfields in finals in games that should be won through that phase of the game. Not only did they compete, they've destroyed, absolutely ripped the heart out of Port Adelaide's midfield. Plus 54 from stoppages. Port Adelaide kicked 3 goals from stoppage. Amazing.
A lot of their players from other clubs as well. Ian Bruin, Ollie Henry, Stanley, even if you want to count Stanley, Bose, Jeremy Cameron. You know, not only the recruiting of young players like Ollie Dempsey. They've got the best kid of the comp this year. They've got the rising star. So they go and get the best kid, and they've got a guy like Sean Manor, who I'm not sure where he's been, but he's a mature age player that Andrew Mackey stubbed his toe on somewhere down the Bellarine.
Yep, I'm very jealous of the Geelong supporters for the sustained success that they have had in a game that doesn't lend itself to being up the top of the ladder for 14 years. It's just incredible. It honestly blows my mind, because I keep telling people premierships are hard to win. Well, maybe they're not if you live down in Geelong. It's amazing.
Well, they haven't won it yet. But I know. They have to be the premiership favourite.
They do now, depending on what happens in the Sydney game.
No, they won't be the premiership favourite at the end of the week yet.
If Sydney make a statement,
if the Giants win,
you can't go from sixth. I think they were seventh in line to first. That won't happen.
So who would you rather have right now?
Well, let's just see who wins.
Who would you rather have?
I just think that won't be where it lands at the end of the weekend. But they have now banked all the advantages.
I think they would be my number one seed now, though, because of the fact that the grand final was played on the MCG.
So you've got 2 days to work out.
You're probably going to get an interstate side with the way that the home prelims will work with the Giants or Sydney. So to meet, well, it may be the Western Bulldogs, so then it evens out itself a little bit more. But with the week off, with the depth that they've got, the home prelim final and the grand final perhaps in Melbourne, they're in a good spot.
It's the first time they looked like that,
didn't they?
Though.
Didn't they?
They did win the look like that for the first time this year in a final, though.
Yeah, and which is the whole point of it, isn't it?
Exactly. It's about winning flags. And it's not about just getting into September and then dying. It's about actually being able to win the flag when you get there with energy.
Putting games into those 6 players who haven't played very much. This whole swag of players who played their first finals tonight. Yeah. As Bose gets his first look
Humphreys.
at it.
Humphreys is another one.
Yeah, so...
so even tonight.
I actually feel like, so I want a bit of time to have a look. I feel like it's nearly the best finals win of the Chris Scott era, even though there's a grand final win in there. And
I suppose the other side of the coin is with Port Adelaide. I mean, Wines and Boak. I mean, there's some pretty good names at the top end that aren't quite at. Well, I mean, they're the greatest. You could say that Travis Boak's the greatest Port Adelaide player of all time. Some people say that. Some say it's Robbie Gray. Some say it's Warren Treadray. But tonight, you just see the difference between that level and some of the level of some of the cats.
And the thing with Boakey, like, they haven't needed to be it's not his job to be the Travis Boak that he was when he was 26 in the prime of his career. He's playing a role across the wing because they desperately need him to do that with the lack of depth, and he's been able to do that pretty well. But when you're asking him to be your main guy, it's just not the phase of his career that he's in. Your main guys are your highly paid midfielders that weren't able to get it done tonight when the game really mattered early on. Fumbly, dropped easy marks, missed tackles, weak in the contest. That's the game. I mean, how many edits could you show tonight of the ball going to a marking contest, hitting the ground? Who wins it? Geelong win it, sweep it to the outside, game going, gone, out, zoom, they're away. That what happened on repeat, and you could show 50 edits of that.
We just did the first passage of play, fumble from Drew,
yeah.
drop mark from Zerk.
And that's the game. And then Geelong got their game going, take the crowd out of it, build their confidence. Stengel gets involved, forwards gets involved, bang. There was danger signs all over this game 10 minutes into the first quarter.
Yeah, it was a tone set very early. The post-game show is for deep heat, fast targeted pain relief, feel at work. Geelong 20 goals, 18, 138 defeat. Port Adelaide 7-12-54. So after halftime it was 11-9 to 1-5.
Just feeling a sniffle come on.
It's a late 80s score, isn't it? 20 goals, 18. It's a late 80s
it is.
kind of final score.
Early 90s. For forwards.
It's a bloody kind of... Yeah, and they had so many different goal-scoring options, Geelong, that it didn't require someone to kick 8. You almost had someone kick 5 or 6, but and their midfield was good.
Celebrations for Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives every day of the year. Jack Bowes is with us down in the Cats rooms. Jack, congratulations. Welcome to AFL Nation.
Thanks, Jared. Thanks for having me.
Jack, how was that for a finals experience, eh?
Really good. I thought the boys played really well. Obviously, pretty even effort from everyone, and just so excited to get the job done.
How were you feeling coming into it?
There's obviously nerves. First final, obviously away from home. But yeah, just trying not to think about it too much and just go out there and back in my strengths and playing instincts. And I know when I'm running out the race, I've got a lot of good teammates with finals experience beside me. So, learning off them a lot throughout the week made me feel pretty comfortable out there.
Yeah, amazing performance from yourself. Well, one of the better games I've seen you play at the level. You had 18, 9 ground balls, 4 clearances, went forward and kicked a couple of really important goals at crucial stages. I mean, how did you set up your midfield to be so dominant tonight? Because all the talk was about Port Adelaide's midfield. You absolutely destroyed them, Jack.
Yeah, thanks, Kane. I feel like our midfield, where we play really well together. The last few weeks, or probably the last couple of months, we've had some continuity in there. Probably hurt a little bit with Stewie going out tonight, but I feel like there was some boys that came up and stepped up, and Grime Myers and Shawnee Manor as forwards were sort of helping us out in the midfield as well. And we kept it pretty simple in there. Tried to turn them around a bit and let our forwards go to work. So we're lucky and fortunate it worked our way tonight.
When were you told about Tom Stewart? I just wonder how much of an influence that had on Port Adelaide and distracted them and maybe set in with some complacency. But as his teammates, when were you told?
I can't remember exactly. It might have been this morning or last night. Yeah, I think he was pretty crook this morning. He flew back and obviously didn't get up, but he'd be so pumped for us back home watching.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the players that impressed you tonight, like as teammates, I just think, as you said, it was such an even performance. But I just thought Holmes' first half, with his ability to dominate through the midfield, but then get the ball on the outside and do maximum damage, 668 metres gained. He had the number 1 ranked player on the ground. Thought he was enormous.
Yeah, as you said, it was so hard to sort of pick out who was just a standout performance. Obviously, Holmesy is one of our better players for the season. He's such a metres game player. His ability to break tackles and break lines and get the game going forward for us is exceptional. So he's a great player to have on our side, and he obviously played multiple different roles as well. So it was a credit to him tonight.
Just with the week off and the way that you were able to set up that time between rest and clearly getting some work into the group, I guess you just replicate that now ahead of a home prelim final.
Yeah, I think so. And even throughout the whole year, we've managed players here and there, and been able to optimise our performance going into this sort of back end of the year. And I feel like there's a lot of boys that are fresh coming off, obviously, the spell last week. And, I guess we'll do it even better this week. I think the same thing happened for them in 2022. So I guess they're experienced and know how to control it and what to do and how to plan it. So I'm pretty sure the plan's already gone out already, so that they're all over it.
Jack, you came from another club. You took a leap of faith that the Cats was the club that you wanted to go to. What is it about the club in comparison, or the way the club operates, that makes them so good year in, year out?
Yeah, it's hard to compare. Each club does things their own way, and whether it's right or wrong, it's sort of hard to tell. But, coming here, all I can say is I felt so welcome. The program's been set up, to get the best out of myself and help me thrive in an environment where, there's so many good leaders that you can look around, all the look around the locker room, and you got Tom Stewart, Tom Hawkins, Danger, so many people to learn from, Mitch Duncan and stuff like that. So, the program's set up just to, as I said, optimise and, that they ensure that we take care of our own career. And, if we don't do that, you're going to fall behind. So all I can say is they've been so good to me coming into the club, and, I'm a very lucky man.
So is that the essence of it, the leadership or the standard that's around you? You mentioned a heap of guys whose standard is high, their leadership is high. They set the tone that you kind of got to bring yourself up to, otherwise you're not worthy.
Yeah. There's so many leaders that lead in their own sort of different way. I mean, Pat's obviously an exceptional leader. Him and Stewie lead very well on and off the field, and it's not just those two as well. Obviously, as I said, Mitch Duncan, Tom Hawkins is there that you can lean on, and obviously Jez as well, and Zach Tui. They're all just so level-headed, and they've been here before and had a lot of finals experience. So it's just really good to learn off them, and they bring a sense of calmness to what is the big stage in September.
Jack, terrific to have you with us. So a preliminary final, hey, to think about.
Yeah, no, it's exciting. Hasn't really hit me yet, to be honest. So a couple of weeks' time, I'm sure MCG will be ready to go again.
Good on you. Well done, Jack. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Jack Bowes with us down in the Cats rooms.
So
Tom Stewart, 84 points.
So Tom Stewart caught the plane home.
Flew home, yeah.
Yeah, that's commitment.
Yeah, with the mask on, no doubt.
Yeah.
He would have had the mask on because of the flu thing that he had.
Well, he'd be pretty happy that he gets a week off. I mean, he picks himself. So what a great position for them to be in. Just saw on social media, 13 prelim finals in 18 years.
It's amazing.
For Geelong.
All right, let's take our last break. We've got awards to give out. The post-game show for Deep Heat Fast Targeted Pain Relief. Feel it work. This is the AFL Nation broadcast brought to you by the TAC. If you've been drinking, don't risk driving. TAC.
That quarter on AFL Nation was for the Deutz-Bar Warrior range. From 170 to 350 horsepower, it's Deutz-Bar Evolved. Visit deutzbar.com.au.
The Boss's Treat Coffee Run.
Okay, let's see that.
The perfect time to head to bizcover.com.au and check out a whole range of business insurance options for your shop.
Voting retailer.
Because only BizCover lets you compare, save, and get instant cover online, on the go, in minutes.
$300 saving? Wow. 4 large caps and a chocolate cake, please.
Check how much a retailer like you could save on your business insurance. For on-the-go cover,
go BizCover.
Golfbox is Australia's greatest golf superstore. With the biggest range of brands and best prices, you simply can't go past Golfbox for your golf gear. Whether you're just starting out or looking to better your score, Golfbox has you covered with the largest range of clubs, balls, bags, gloves, clothes, shoes, tech, accessories, and more. With PGA professionals and golf specialists for expert advice, plus lightning fast delivery Australia-wide, it's never been easier to shop for you, your family, or your mates. Shop online at golfbox.com.au and save. Golfbox, we outfit everyone.
Hi, it's Shelley Craft. For locally made gift ideas that shine like green and gold, check out Australian Made's top Aussie products, the go-to resource to find the very best Aussie-made goodies. From handcrafted homewares and accessories to innovative Aussie inventions, you'll find a top Aussie product for every occasion. Each one carries the trusted green and gold kangaroo logo, so you can be sure it's genuinely Aussie. Hop to australianmade.com.au/top Aussie and support local while you shop.
I've been waiting so patiently. I've dropped hints walking past jewellery stores, but he gets a bit dazed like a deer in the headlights. So now I've found the best way for it. The Diamond Guys. They help blokes pick a diamond ring while they drink beer. They sit down, talk footy, talk diamonds, and it's all in a one-on-one consultation. So it just works.
The Diamond Guys, the place where you do want your partner to drink a beer.
They say radio is the best way to speak to someone on a more personal level, just one-to-one. That's what makes this radio commercial so perfect to tell you about O'Brien Real Estate. Because we believe selling your home is just that. It's personal. At O'Brien's, we've been taking a personal approach with our clients since we first began. Nothing's changed, even though we're now Victoria's fastest growing network. So come in for a chat at your nearest O'Brien Real Estate office. We'll keep it personal.
Whether you need to build, repair, or create, there's a Loctite product for all your project needs. Whether you're doing small or big projects, Loctite provides DIYers, tradies and engineers with reliable adhesive and sealant solutions. From the smallest details to your biggest ambitions, Loctite goes beyond the bond to help you get your job done right. For more information and to find your closest Loctite product stockist, search Loctite today.
Ready for your next holiday?
Experience more of the world's best destinations at Luxury Escapes with more inclusions, more value and more expertise.
Find and book everything you need for your next dream escape. From hotels and resorts to flights, tours, cruises and experiences.
Discover exclusive offers with unparalleled inclusions like daily dining, free flow drinks and more at luxuryescapes.com.
Visit luxuryescapes.com to get more from your next holiday.
Sheen Panel Service.
Nobody understands better than Sheen Panel Service how important it is to keep you on the road these school holidays. And if you book your car in for repairs, right now Sheen Panel Service are offering up to a $600 excess reduction plus a replacement vehicle at no cost to you. So if you've been putting off getting your car repaired, wait no longer and claim up to a $600 excess reduction today at one of our 27 stores. T's and C's at sheengroup.com.au.
Sheen Panel Service.
You're listening to AFL Nation for Tyre Power. Big footy final sale now on. And 4 and 20 pies. 4 and 20 pies, Australia's original fan food.
It's a lot to absorb. The post-game show for deep heat, fast, targeted pain relief. Feel it work. Geelong 20 goals, 18, 138 over Port Adelaide 7-12-54. Finey's final siren is looming. It looms rather large. So, Kane, let's go through your awards here, and then we'll send you on your way and just prime people up to have their say. So, the Forever Young Player of the Year, player over 30 who just done the business.
The Geelong captain, Patrick Dangerfield, will feature later in the awards, but just vintage performance right to the end. I mean, there was no foot off the pedal tonight. A huge performance. They needed one, and they got one.
Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives every day of the year. Who made it look easy? Incitec Pivot Fertilisers, easy liquids, products, too easy.
Well, I just think Tyson Stengel, how clean was he? Like, he just almost swooped on 3 or 4 balls, ground balls inside forward 50, one step, bang, goal. I mean, it's just the most efficient performance from a small forward that I've seen. If there was a mistake made, he was there, bang, make you pay. Could have been in the top 3 players, I thought, just because how influential he was when the game was on the line, but gee, made it look easy.
Incitec Pivot Fertilisers, too easy. Now, who ran the most kilometres? Kick back and relax with an adjustable bed from Australian designed and owned OMF. Burgoyne ran 15.3 and so too did Manor. So Jason Burgoyne and Sean Manor topped the charts there. Australian-made Smart Play by Australian-made and support authentic Aussie makers.
Look, I thought the way that they set up around the stoppages, but in particular the role of Stanley, who I thought was really competitive. And in fact, I've been a real doubter on him and where he's at in his career, but his last month has been strong, has earned his place and didn't win the hit-outs, but led his team to a dominant performance. So often was able to shark the hit-out from Sweet and win it himself, or his midfielders won it. So really good performance in the ruck.
by authentically Australian made. Toughest of the day for hard yakka workwear since 1930. Nothing's tougher.
Well, the ball on the ground was where it was won today, and the player who won the most ground balls was Patrick Dangerfield. But I just thought across the board it was an uncompromising effort. And as I said, their ability to bring the ball to ground, neutralise it, win it inside and get it on the outside was as good as I've seen from any side this year. But I will give that to Dangerfield because I thought he was just relentless.
Hard yakka, nothing's tougher. What was the unmissable moment for Drink Wise? You won't miss a moment if you drink Wise.
Ominous when Jeremy Cameron's kicking them from his backside on the edge of 50 for a ball that should spin the other way, but it goes the other way and he kicks it straight through the middle with that snap in the first quarter. He kicked another ripper in the second. He kicked a great right foot snap. So, I mean, I could have given it all 4 of his goals, but the first one was the best of the lot.
Choose to drink Wise. Best defender for Tridectin, Australia's only triple combination drench containing moxidectin.
Thought their defence as a unit was excellent. Port Adelaide had nearly the same entries. I thought Blixars was really good, did the job on Dixon. Thought Henry was terrific. Even thought Buse on Rioli was great, but Zach Guthrie was the best of them. I thought he was the best defender on the ground.
Bendix Breaks, big moment. Put your foot down with confidence, Bendix Breaks.
Yeah, I just thought it was the first goal of the second term. For some reason, I just felt like Port had momentum, went into quarter time with the game on their terms. They won the hit out in the centre bounce, but Geelong through Holmes and Stengel kicked an easy walk-in goal. I thought, gee, that's alarming.
Injury update for Nutrien Water, your destination for all things water. So Zach Butters was subbed out at halftime with what we're being told is a rib injury. If you've got broken ribs, which has you out at halftime of a qualifying final, do you play in 8 days?
No, I wouldn't have thought so.
Highly unlikely,
I would think that there's something else going on in there. Either broken ribs with some damage in there. If it's just bruised ribs, he would have played out the game because only 20 points down at half time. So that was, I can't see a way he gets up, but we'll see how he pulls up. Well, it'll be Friday night next week, so
he will.
Extra day's break, but that won't be enough.
Nutrien Water, irrigation, pump and filtration specialists. The votes for AFL Nation for the TR Group commercial truck and trailer rentals and lease.
It was really difficult because, as we spoke to Jack Bowes about, it was such an even performance. So I've weighted the votes to the players who I thought sort of set the game up for them when it was really on the line, that the stuff late probably didn't have as much influence. But I did give one vote to Zach Guthrie. 27 he had. He didn't have an ineffective kick, so he kicked it at 100%. He took 4 intercept marks. He was flawless tonight, and he probably snuck up on me throughout the game. You think, well, he has just not made a mistake. Thought he was huge, so 1 vote there. I did give 2 votes to Patrick Dangerfield. He had 8 inside 50s. He had 12 score involvements. He had 10 ground balls and was just relentless. When you needed it, he stood up once again. Big game player. Just an unbelievable career that he's had. And Holmes, for me, was still the best player on the ground. 668 metres gained. Thought he toyed with Port Adelaide tonight. 7 score involvements. And his first half, 16 touches in the first half, he was the one that set things up.
His ascension to A grade's complete, isn't it?
Yeah, and he missed the grand final. So, I mean, that's a great story, isn't it? With that hammy where he was fit to play, put his hand up to play. Chris Scott said, no, I'm going to take a conservative approach. Didn't play him. Heartbreak as a young player. So, I mean, if he can get himself back there, you feel like he's absolutely primed to have a huge impact for the remaining 2 games if that goes their way for the rest of the year.
3 to Holmes, 2 to Dangerfield, 1 to Guthrie. Kane Corns votes for TR Group truck and trailer rentals. Kane?
Wish me luck.
Oh, there's not enough luck in the world to help you in the next 24 hours.
I'm in all sorts.
All right, Kane Corns.
Thanks, guys.
Finishing with us on AFL Nation. Now, let's bring in Finey, shall we? What's the patronage like from South Australia, Finey, on a night like this?
I hope it's strong. I hope it's very strong because, of course, they'll be very disappointed, and this program's all about venting. So if you're listening in South Australia, don't go to sleep angry, don't go to sleep discontent. Shed it on this program. That's what it's all about, isn't it?
What did you think of what we saw?
Look, you're a great wordsmith, Jared, and I'm going to need every superlative in the book to describe what Geelong did tonight. It was off the charts. I mean, Logic said before the game, it should be a very close tussle, but Geelong need to maybe break even in the midfield. But they obliterated the Port midfield, albeit without Butters in the second half, but that didn't make a difference. I mean, that domination through the middle was extraordinary. And how about Paddy Dangerfield? He was the dynamite that blew them up when it mattered. So, yeah, it was breathtaking. And you know what? I actually thought that second quarter, which Geelong gained the domination in, was one of the best quarters of football I've watched in so long. There was no, even Port Adelaide, it was such attacking football. There were no get-out kicks. There was no catching your breath. It was end-to-end stuff, and it was a real battle of wills. Both teams wanted to attack, and Geelong won it hands down. It was great to watch.
You're a bit shocked by how soon Port gave up?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know whether they gave up or they were overrun by a simply brilliant team, but it was a shocking result because didn't we all believe, or don't we all believe, that coming into this final series, you could throw a blanket over them and any combination, any permutation of wins and losses could see any of the 8 teams winning, and part of that surely isn't one side winning by 84 points. So we're one game in and I'm already on the back foot.
Yes. All right, Finey. Well, it's a lively time ahead, I would say. The number is 1300 736 736. We're minutes away. I'd be inclined to grab a line now as the queue starts to form. Finey, Godspeed.
Thank you, and what a game. If you're a Geelong supporter, you must be very happy tonight.
Yes, it'll be a nice walk back to the hotel, just to let it all sink in.
Through the Port fans, that'll be a lot of fun.
Well, no, they went home ages ago.
That's true. They're already on the train.
They're long gone. Our finals presenting partner is Caveat Home Loans. Or, no, just Caveat Loans, I beg your pardon. Dan Isaac at caveatloans.finance. Common sense lending without the red tape. caveatloans.finance. If a final series can start like this, so I wonder where on earth it takes us next.
Well, at least we know that we have got something that, regardless of, even when you think you've seen it all, you haven't seen it all, and even when you think you know, you never know. And that's the beauty of what we might have in front of us. I can't believe that the Cats, I didn't think they'd make the 8 this year with this list, but they found Manor and they found Humphreys and they've gone and recruited well again and filled the holes, and they've got a team that's that good. Gary Rowan can't get in. Sam de Koning can't get in. And they've got a bloke by the name of Tom Stewart to bring in next week or the week after next. So, yeah, it's crazy. It does need a bit of detox to take it all in.
No one's going to believe Port can escape straight sets. Now, whether they do or they don't, the whole week now and the mood in this town is going to be all geared around it's going to happen again.
Yeah.
It's hard to escape that.
Yeah, it happens every year, though, on a team. Often there are teams that fight through that and still win.
There are some who have turned around 100-point deficits in qualifying finals and one semi-final. They didn't look like a team who was about to do that.
Well, this isn't the same team that beat Sydney by 100 points who might end up winning the flag.
It's just bizarre, Dwayne. It is bizarre. Oh, I'm glad we saw it together.
Yes.
And we'll be together again tomorrow night.
I'm looking forward to it tomorrow night.
Can't wait for it.
Jack Ginnivan and the Jack Ginnivan Show.
Out at the pub tonight. This has been the post-game show for Deep Heat Fast Targeted Pain Relief. Feel it work. Geelong 20 goals, 18, 138 to Port Adelaide, 7-12-54. Finey's final siren now. Join us at the MCG tomorrow night for the Bulldogs and the Hawks on AFL Nation.
You're listening to AFL Nation for Tyre Power. Big footy final sale now on. And 4 and 20 pies. 4 and 20 pies, Australia's original fan food.